Good morning, traders. Welcome back to another live stream. If you are new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we hop on these charts on this beautiful Monday, March 9th, make sure you view us on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice or advice of any kind. Nothing you see from me here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. This is for entertainment purposes only. Make sure you do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, code RDF, Bookmap, Edgeful, and others. Let's hop into it, guys. What's up? Market's getting ready to open up. I am back in action with you guys after an awesome week and weekend down in Cartagena, Colombia. You guys, just so you guys know, in case you missed it, in case you weren't on the Friday live stream, I still am cornrowed up. I hope this is not cultural appropriation. I hope this was supporting the locals. But me, Austin Silver, and Ace of Trades got laced up down in Colombia. And I said I was going to run it with you guys on the Monday live stream. So here we are, man. Looking like a little 11-year-old girl that just got off a cruise for the first time with little beads in her hair. But before we yap about Colombia, before we talk about the trip, because it was awesome, we're going to hop onto the charts, man. Market is getting ready to open up. We got some craziness going on. I'm comfortable, like I was on Friday, not jumping into anything too crazy. Just for the record, this was Friday's trade. Damn near bottom tick the move. Beautiful trade. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. This was in the Top 1 Futures live account. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. We're going to go ahead and get rid of that. I do want it because I do want to be able to mark that up later. 9:30 a.m. Eastern, market is opening up. This zone worked out beautifully. This chart looks like it's moving slow, man. Let me just... We lagging here? No, we're good. We're good. We're good. Trading 47, 085s, 080s, 090s. Yep. Just the classic trading view lag, as always. All right, let's see what we got. Let's hop out to the daily as this market opens up. I can see what we did from session changeover. Today being Monday, Sunday, we opened up, gap down. Big crack to the downside, not surprised based on what's going on in the Middle East. If you're unaware of the fundamentals, there is conflict. There's a lot of conflict that's going on, and it seems to be heavily related to oil, natural gas, supply chains across a lot of different countries, and really has the potential to affect a lot of different markets, assets, instruments. This is, this is big, right? Unfortunately, right, we're always praying for peace. Talked about that last week. We're never looking for war so we can celebrate because we're going to run up a bag. Absolutely not. Our job as traders is to be able to understand what's going on in the world that is going to affect the financial markets and then prepare to attempt to adjust to that volatility, right? And continue to be able to try to run our edge in the market, right? So, it's an interesting dynamic that we have to deal with as traders to think about. I think some are more conflicted or have more conflict with that than others, but, worth thinking about. So let's go ahead and take a look at YM. This is my Top 1 Futures 15K live account, the same damn one that I'm trucking away in. I forget the exact number. I think it's 18 accounts from the same live account that I've been in since October of last year. Nothing crazy, base hits, but then base hits are stacking up, man. Very slow start in this bad boy to the beginning of the year. This month has certainly not been bad. Been able to snag multiple payouts across multiple back-to-back weeks. No complaints about that, man. The sim stuff was going pretty nicely last month. I really have not cranked out anything in sim land coming into this month. It's just been chilling. Obviously, a lot of travel, a lot of meetings, a lot of cooking in the kitchen with the Top 1 team, with a lot of other traders, with other companies, software companies, platforms. Been doing a lot, right? A lot of that. So that has definitely taken me off of doing 47,000 different things across 47,000 different markets. I'm just marking some high volume peaks off the daily, right? This is the YM chart. This is the YM mini. just wanted to mark some really high time frame zones to the downside, guys. Again, markets opened up 9:33 a.m. Eastern. I'm not looking to hop in right now. I'm really, keeping myself out for the first 10, 15 minutes, right? If we just run, that's cool. That's not my trade. Monday morning, post-war, or with the war escalating, that's not my trade. It's somebody else's trade. And I know there's guys on here right now that are, 15 minis deep on NQ, and maybe they're going to get crushed. Maybe they're going to run up an absolute, beautiful day. That's just not my play here on YM specifically, right? So for now, I'm out on the daily. I'm looking at areas of interest, and I'm going to come to you guys in the chat. I'll be saying what's up. I know we didn't even do good mornings. Just bear with me. I want to get this marked up. I'm focused to the downside here. Way zoomed out. I mean, I'm looking at stuff from 6 months ago, right? 6+ months ago. Because if we start to break to the downside here on the daily, right? We got nothing looking left until, first off, next area of market structure, looking left from right here, from this low, is from last year. This is November, right? This is, before Thanksgiving, okay? Past that, we've got October, and then all the way back to August and September. So, if we start to sell off, where might we try to find buyers? If we're going to try to join that move to the downside, how far may we go? What's the next area of interest? What's the next high volume peak or high volume node on visible range volume profile? So that's, that's where my head goes, in trading markets that are starting to really sell off, right? So, are we in a downtrend? Is it, oh my gosh, the market's crashing, we're in a recession? To me, I don't know. Sure, we could certainly bounce. We could rip from right here, right? Beautiful pullback, clean all the weekend longs out, and then rip to the upside. Let me get rid of these. Outside of that, conversely, off the highs, this is the largest, pullback that we've seen in how far? I don't know. I'm not the. I don't want to misspeak on it. So 8.5% off the highs, roughly. That's absolutely not exact. Let's call it, 8.25 to 8.75, since I'm being rough here. Look at these pullbacks, right? Off prior highs. I'm gonna say it's this, but I just want to take a quick look. That's the largest dips that since March of last year, since we ripped to the downside, right? And we sold off around 18.5% on YM, the U.S. indices here, right? So this is considerable. We're really down. We're really down here. Let's take a look to see on the 15-minute, now that we got some higher time frame levels marked to the downside, what we got going on with a little bit more immediate price action and market structure. Kind of a muted open here. Really not dumping, really not pumping. We gapped to the downside, session changeovers, traded down below yesterday's Friday the 6th low, right? We've opened up down below that low. We tested it in London pre-market here, right? We traded right into this low, into this zone where I got long. Beautiful area of interest. Nothing magical here, guys. Just higher time frame levels playing out very nicely on the 15-minute. Tested that multiple times. Got a little double top action going on here. Off the open, we popped to the upside. Now it looks like we want to turn back down to VWAP. We're trading right at current volume point of control on the session volume profile that we have marked up here. I'm really liking my nice light charts, by the way. It's waking my ass up. Don't have a, like I talked about, don't have a trade where I'm dying to get into this market off the open. I'm much happier being patient, into what the market's going to do, right? Start to get a feel for this volatility. So far, first 7 minutes of NYSE open, I'm calling this, not too insane. Now, this is volatile, right, on the 15-minute. If we zoom back over here, when we had some really choppy, slow days, like this is some movement for sure. We already have a, let's go to the daily again, an 800 and some odd point daily candle that's getting put in here, right? Let's measure that. Here's our utilization, our understanding of volatility here. 844 points on YM. That's nothing to bat an eye out, right, and brush off. But right into the open so far, how are we moving now that NYSE's opened up? Nothing too crazy, right? Nothing too crazy. And again, I'm talking more about this because of the news, because of what's going on, right? Maybe a normal no news Monday or something, we're not so worried about that. To the upside, we start to crack to the upside. If we break this pre-market high, which we have not yet, if we break this pre-market high to the upside, I'm interested in this area right here, right? This is Friday's volume point of control, and a nice high volume node, even if I display some of Thursday and Wednesday. Pretty decent high volume node. Up into the 47 460s, right? I'd be looking at a push all the way up into this area right here to see what happens. I don't know that I would love to fade that movement. That would be really flipping this daily candle bullish. We would be long wick to the downside, all the way back up. I could see a potential short in there, but honestly, guys, I really don't like that. Coming into the discretionary piece of this, I really don't like that at all. So I don't know that I'm going to short. I'm going to short from up here. I'm not going to short from in here. I don't know that I would short from in here. I think if I found my way in short on YM here, it would be a continuation. If we start to dump, if we really start to sell off, I could look to join that market. Again, we have something that's different. Context, right? I'm not a fundamental trader. I'm not a fundamental-based trader. And I know I'm yapping here, but I'm trying to get a lot out in the first 10 minutes before this market maybe starts moving so you understand what the hell I do later on. I'm not a fundamental-based trader. I do not trade off of, the NFP or the FOMC rate when it comes out, trying to forecast it and look at what happened and decide how the market participants go. It's not what I do. But I do utilize context of everything that's going on in the world that affects the instrument that I'm trading to a degree. Much so secondary to technicals. Very, very secondary to technicals. But if we are in a situation where the U.S. and multiple countries in the Middle East are bombing all over the place, and we're watching explosions at airports, that's something to pay attention to. That, to me, here's the rough idiot idea, just a little bit. That, to me, that type of conflict has the potential to cause an increase in volatility across the U.S. indices. Whether that price movement is to the upside or downside, I'll leave that out for debate based on war, based on natural disaster, based on a number of different things, policies, geopolitics, right? But if we start to see an increase in volatility to the downside, I may be a little bit more quick to put on risk for a continuation trade, especially if it lines up with technicals, which it does, right? Especially if we've been selling off day over day over day, and we're putting in the largest, at least for now, pullback in this very strong bull market that we've had. If we continue to break lows here, guys, right? Then I'm going to look maybe more aggressively on the short side and maybe slightly less, more cautiously on the long side, right? The same way where if we're continuing to break highs and blast to the upside, and I'm noticing my data show me I'm getting absolutely cooked on the shorts, and I can't miss on the longs, I'm running 100% win rate on every buy, maybe I want to be more aggressive on those buys, a little more cautious on those shorts. So just a little bit of that, context that I bring in, that discretion, that subjective interpretation of everything that's going on outside of just the chart itself, just your VWAP and your volume profile, right? Important to note that. So far we got close to testing that pre-market high, coming right back down to VWAP here. Not insane, not insane on movement, not insane on volume. You could even see volume down here on YM, at least what's forming so far in this 15-minute bar. We're not at 9:45 a.m., so we'll see how this closes. I don't talk too much about traditional volume down here, but it's not insane. I think even myself and many others are probably like, okay, it's game time, man. Be careful coming into this open. This might move. We don't have too much of that yet, so I'm sitting patient. Again, to the downside, it would have to be. I'm not going to take a breakout. It'd have to be a little bit of a break and retest, a little bit of a pullback. Try to find my way in. To the downside for a buy. Yeah, I'm not getting that mean reversion play at all today. We did not crack to the upside. We did not crack to the downside. We opened up above VWAP after testing yesterday's low. We're kind of just drifting back down. So that classic mean reversion play is really not setting up for me at all this morning. I'd have to see what we. I don't even want to call out a level. I don't really have something that I'm super interested in. First down towards the 740s, right? 720s. If we got down here, I'd be interested to see what starts to happen. Yeah, even ES. Flat. Completely flat on cumulative volume delta. You know, we got some orders down below. We got some orders up above. Nothing really crazy out of this, guys. Nothing really wild out of this just yet. Very similar structure, I believe, out of all of these. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a divergence on NQ, cracking pre-market high, trading farther up into the dip before pulling back down to VWAP. Really similar structure out of these. Nobody's doing something crazy. You know, YM's not running to the upside while NQ's selling off and ES is hanging at VWAP. So I'm gonna wait to see what happens here. We're loaded up, ready to roll. I have the top one futures 15K ready to roll. But I'm not looking to do anything insane. I'm really not looking to do anything insane, and certainly not if the market's going to be slow. So let's see what we have coming up for news. Pull up forexfactory.com for the week, and then I'll come to you guys in the chat. I know I haven't said a single thing, man. I'm going to talk about the trip, talk about Colombia. I'm sure you guys are watching all the content. But I want to get right on the markets, and I felt better than I have this morning. Quite a bit of travel, international travel, and a lot of screaming and yelling and live trading and content and, you know, everything in between. So we're gonna get right first. We're focusing up. So we got Trump speaking at 4:35 p.m. That could be, that's after market close. That could be maybe an indication that we don't see so much movement out of these markets today. So, but I don't know that that's anything that I'm too worried about. Let me pull up Financial Juice as well. See what they got rolling. Not much by way of scheduled. Oh yeah, no, we got CPI. We got CPI, excuse me. Plenty by way of scheduled this week. CPI on Wednesday. Nothing tomorrow. Really nothing crazy tomorrow. CPI on Wednesday. Unemployment claims on Thursday morning. And Friday we've got... Ooh, Friday the 13th. Yikes. We got quite a bit for the morning. You know, not an NFP, not an FOMC. CPI is heavy. Unemployment could be pretty heavy. But I think this news is you know, the conflict, right, is what everybody's got their eyes on, right? You know, this is what they're reporting on up here. Taking a look at taking a look at Financial Juice just real quick. So they got this marked as medium impact. Trump Roundtable, they've got that marked as. Okay. And then tomorrow they've got some existing home sales. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start checking Financial Juice. I'm probably gonna pay for Financial Juice. Set a little reminder to do that. So nothing, you know, nothing too crazy by way of scheduled news. Just taking a look at what we got going on. You know, down at the bottom here on TradingView. So in crude price, yeah, opening lower. Everybody's watching oil. All right, let's see what we get here. Drifting back down to VWAP. You know, nothing crazy, right? We didn't blast, 600 points in one direction on YM here in the first 5 minutes. So we're gonna chill. Let's see what we got. Chat. We're gonna do the late good mornings. Chat. Good morning. How are you guys? How are we living? I missed you guys. I missed the Discord. I missed Team RDF. We got after it on Friday, man. It was awesome. I appreciate everybody that tuned in to the Friday mega stream from Cartagena, Colombia. So for those of you guys, let me say what's up first. Maritime Trader, what's up? Dwayne, good morning. What's up? Cyrus, what's happening? ASF 49, what's up? Fast Money, we missed you. Mars, what's happening? Marcy. Hansel, what's going on, guys? Good morning, good morning. Paul, what's happening? Miguel Carrero, what's happening? Chris, welcome back. Zach, it was fun watching your Insta stories last week. Hope you had a great time and got to recharge your batteries. Chris, I had a great time. I did not get to recharge my batteries. If you guys don't follow me on IG, I would encourage you to check out, and you want to see what Chris is talking about? I'll talk about it in a minute, but we were down in Cartagena, Colombia from Wednesday of last week. There's my IG in the chat. It's Real Deal Zach. With the top one futures and top one trader team. Almost every important person CEO Matt Morris, and founder and top guy Clay B. Hodges. I'm not going to get everybody's names right. Almost everybody from their Discord, a ton of the back end guys that run Risk. It was really cool. They're obviously their partnership manager, and then a ton of traders, right? So it was myself, Austin Silver from ASFX, Evan Dreyer that's on Austin's team, Tanner the strong trader, Wix9, who I met for the first time, which was awesome. Adam, a.k.a. Never Pull Over, which I met for the first time, which was awesome. Isaac Rivera, Ace of Trades, and his boy JJ from Prop Hub. And I'm missing even more. I hate to name names because then if I forget, I miss everybody. But awesome, just a huge suite of traders from all different skill sets and levels. Really heavy hitters. And it was awesome, man. It was a half award celebration trip, right, for a lot of their big partners. It was half a trading trip because we did trade. We had the live stream going from down there, joint live stream. It was a meeting trip, right, for everybody to get together, top one related and not top one related, to really just connect, network, and see what we could do with all things trading. But even before that, then we had a trader meetup in Fort Lauderdale, which was not related to any of that. It was just a come through, say what's up, hang out at a local bar on Las Olas, which was awesome. And even before that, which was also unrelated to all of this, we had a ton of the guys that were coming down and some others. Lawrence was there. Lawrence, a.k.a. Lawrence the Investor, on Tuesday, which was sick. Chris Drysdale from his team was out there, which was awesome. We got podcasts filmed. It was super cool, man. I'm missing people's names, so I apologize, but it was just such a big week last week of a lot of in-person stuff. So it was awesome, man. But yeah, I appreciate you guys checking it out. If you want to watch, I had a ton of stories and stuff up on IG. I would go and check everybody else's pages where we did the whole collab post with a lot of stuff, but check what we had going out from all of those guys. And it was a great time, man. Really great time. Honestly, a really wholesome trip. It was super cool. We're obnoxious and yelling, and when you get a bunch of traders and people that create content and stream together, of course, we're all very competitive. So I'm my voice is gone because we're screaming over each other. It was super fun though. Super fun. A bunch of ridiculousness. I vlogged the whole thing. I was videoing the whole thing. By the way, I know it's not vlog. I've said vlog to start, and everybody went roasted me. And now I'm it's vlog, guys, even though I know it's dead wrong. Watching this as we come back down to VWAP here. But yeah, dude, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Super fun. Running around on boats, islands, just a ton of fun, man. Good food, good drinks, good people, good trades. It was really cool. I'm super motivated, super stoked. There's so much more in play that we're lining up. But man, it's really cool to get around, people that are, here we go. We got some momentum to the downside here, guys. That's looking a little wiggly here. Coming into VWAP. Yeah, let's chat. Let's see what we got. Good morning, all. Paul, excuse me. Yeah, we got through you guys. Purple Ninja, Santiago, World War III. Yeah, I don't know about that. But I nearly forgot the time zone changes. Lucky didn't miss. Yeah. First time at your live, stoked to be here. NQ with order flow is normal, but I'm excited to see your stuff for sure. What's happened, Jacob, man? What's going on? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. Vix has been high, looking quite bearish. If I had to pick a side, yeah, Vix went crazy. What's up, Zach? How was Cartagena? Cartagena was awesome, as I was just yapping about. Yeah, man, maybe I'll pull up some pictures and stuff. If you guys want to see some behind the scenes pictures and videos and stuff on the live, if I don't get a trade on and we don't get the market going, I'll throw some stuff up on the big screen. But I recorded the whole time, really, from the phone, from everything, and over the next week or so, I'll have the whole trip, the whole thing vlogged. So if you want to watch a bunch of idiots run around Colombia and trade and talk markets and get their hair braided, a bunch of white kids with cornrows, well, technically an Armenian kid, a Jewish kid, and a a Canadian, a Canadian who does not look Canadian, Ace, get their hair braided. That's what we had going on down there. But yeah, no, it was super fun, man. Super fun. Super grateful, honestly, that I got to go on it. I know a lot of people are not in that spot. I know I was not in this spot for a long period of time. I'm incredibly grateful that I had the opportunity to go down there and have that experience, to be able to collab. It's not to sell myself short, and doesn't say, not to say that it's come with a lot of hard work, a lot of years of grinding, right? And putting yourself out there and taking those risks that others don't want to take. But I am certainly blessed to be down there. I know people are coming from a much different spot than I am, that we're not given some of the things that I was given in my life. Again, not to say that I didn't have my own struggles, my own dark points, but I'm grateful, man. I'm always exceptionally grateful when I get to do anything like that, or anything that's even way less crazy and cool and fun and far out there than that was. So I'm feeling blessed after this week, hella motivated, super fired up, more enthusiastic. It's always how you leave, right? More enthusiastic about the markets, about trading, about prop firms, about collaborating with different traders, about traveling, and working together, about content, about streaming than ever, man. That's why I'm on here, even though I'm cooked. I flew in yesterday, last night. I didn't get home until, I don't know what time I got back to the house. Not crazy late, but 8 o'clock. Time change kicked my ass yesterday. I had to unpack. And but I'm here, man. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh yeah, we're getting on the live. We're getting on the live, boys. We're getting on the live with, in case you meet, let's get the, here's how Cartagena, Colombia was. Just take a look at my head. You remember when you were in grade school? You remember when you were in middle school and the girls would come back from like a cruise, like they would come back like tan, and they would have their hair braided with like little beads dangling down on it. That's essentially what we did. I'm a grown man, and that's essentially what we did down in Colombia. So looking like a full idiot on the stream today, but I'm not gonna lie, man. I enjoyed it. My hair looks ridiculous anyway. I'm growing it out, and I'm like, you know what? If I don't get roasted too hard, man, who knows? I might have to get laced up down here in Florida and just be, I don't know, really confuse everybody. An Armenian kid with cornrows. I don't know. Watching this pop to the upside off of VWAP. Sorry, guys. I am still staring at the market here. No trade for me just yet off the open. No trade for me at all since market opened this week in any account. I got positions running in live accounts, but nothing in nothing so far. Curious to see what happens right here. Little bit of a bounce. Buyers stepping in. Not an insane amount of volume. Now, do we crack right back to the upside? Do we hang out around here, put some volume in? Do we push that low a little bit further down towards those 700s? And if we get there, do we crack it to the downside? That's my line of questioning for this market. So I'm just watching down here. I really don't have a play coming right off the rip. Would I be interested to see happen, right? Not to just talk. Let's actually use the main screen here. What I'd be interested to see happen is, let me change the color on this because we're running the light colorway. In case you guys want the chart settings, the new chart settings, which really don't have much to do with actually making money in the markets, let me know. I'll pull everything up color-wise. But if we start to pull this action, right? We hammer into this low. Are we going to just crack right through this? And then, really start to dump, and come down towards the low and maybe, start to fill this big bearish bar that we got a long wick forming on the daily so far to the downside? Or are we going to do what we're doing right now, right? Our buyer's going to step right back in. We're going to, be pushing to the upside through pre-market, little double top, hit VWAP, hang out down here for a second, buyer step in, and then we head back up here, right? Head back up here to volume point of control from Friday, right? Friday's volume point of control and this high volume node. If I had to say one of two things that's going to happen, one of those, I would assume we're either going to give the lows up and sellers are going to rip our face off. But right now, it doesn't look like that just yet. Back down to VWAP. Kind of a muted open, man. Market might be waiting for something that, you know, I don't know about. Certainly a whole lot going on very fast as far as conflict in the Middle East, like we talked about. But let's see. Let's see. Oh, what's up? Ugh. Chat. I was answering questions. Alan, what's up? Mahid NQ, what's up? I'm going through the chat. Again, I don't answer everybody in the chat. I try to, like, you know, check in. I know we got a bunch of people that have been on here before. If you're on here every day, I'm much more inclined to say what's up. But we're open. Every once in a while, we get the people that are asking for giveaways, like I see in the chat. You don't have to ask me for giveaways, dude. You know the drill, man. We run them nonstop. Anytime I run one, I always double back on it. Yes, I know we had the giveaway update. If you commented on the video, the latest YouTube video on comparing all of the prop firms, which, in my humble opinion, if you want to check out a video that puts all the daily payout accounts side by side, I think it was a good one. Let's pull it up real quick. Yeah, I'm going to pick a winner. Don't worry, guys. But you don't have to beg me for giveaways. You don't have to beg me for anything. I just don't do that. Just, it wastes time and energy. Great pick of Cartagena, bro. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all good. All good, guys. Nobody wanted the giveaway from the comment on the this video. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. So, if you commented on this video, I will, as you can see, I almost replied to every single person. See, so I'm taking notes here. If you reply to this video, which I will link in the chat, that's one of the giveaways, because we got giveaways all over the place, man. So nobody freak out. Nobody freak out. But if you want a chance to win one, here's one. Go ahead, comment on this video. So this is a, what it says is the ultimate prop firm, what is it? Ultimate daily payout prop firm account comparison. So essentially what we got going on here, which you can't see because it's super tiny and I'm streaming and now it's my face and my face over here and this and that. This is a chart that has every daily payout account side by side. So we've got Top 1 Futures, Elite Daily, the new account that just rolled out from Top 1, which I'm going to talk about on here. We've got the Funded Next Bolt. We've got the Tradeify Select Daily. We've got Take Profit Trader, all of their accounts. And then we've got the My Funded Futures Rapid. I put all of the 50Ks side by side. Can we get like maybe 1080 will show it a little bit? No, you're not going to see this. If I make it full screen, it's going to jack the whole thing up. But go ahead, check this video out, man. These are the videos that, and this one's doing all right, not just because I asked for comments, but it's outperforming everything that I put out because these are the videos that I liked. These are the videos that I like to see. They are a comparison video with really all of the rules. Now, I'm partnered, I'm affiliated, I'm biased, right? As is almost everybody that makes these videos because that's their incentive to make the videos. But when I make these, and you can tell me, you know, if you go and watch it, I try to be as unbiased and objective as I can, right? The video is not why Top 1 Futures is better than Take Profit Trade. That's not it at all. In fact, I, in this video, say, I don't think any one of these is the best. I don't think any one of these is better than the other. They're just all different. What the best account is going to be up to you if you do this. If you watch these videos, if you do it yourself, if you put the rules side by side, and then you not only just watch the video, you go to the site and compare and confirm for yourself because prices change hella quick, rules change hella quick, but you find the best accounts for you, right? Maybe you find multiple firms that you like to trade, as most traders do. But, you know, somebody said Trade Day has a daily payout, no consistency, no minimum profitable days. I don't know if they have a comparable one, but this is everybody that I found that has a daily payout account. So if you're interested in daily payout accounts, which most traders are, which is why most firms are offering them, now including Top 1 Futures, feel free to check this video out. Link is in the chat. Now, if you want to check out One of the most aggressive, in my humble biased opinion, with one of the best prices out of all of those. Check out the new Elite Daily account from Top 1 Futures. So, code RDF is going to get you 60% off for your first or next account. Still running. After that, it's 50% off. Just so you understand what these are, because I know this can be like a little confusing, right? These accounts are an eval model. 3 days to pass. It's a 45% consistency eval model, okay? Similar to all of the other eval models out there. There's no minimum trading days to pass the eval, but technically because of the consistency rule, it's a 3-day pass, right? You can't physically do it in 1 day because that would be 100% consistency. 2 days would be 50. 3 days allows you to get to 45. End of day trailing drawdown. For the 50K, for example, it's a $3,000 profit target, $2,000 max loss limit. Let me go to the site real quick. So I'll pull it up and I can actually make sure I'm getting it right. Once you pass, right? The funded account on these, and not to sound out of control, is wild. And which is why the firms are offering them, right? It's very competitive right now in the prop firm space. It's one of the best times to be trading props, in my humble biased opinion. The prices have never been lower. The accounts have never been better. I don't know that it's incredibly sustainable at this level and if it will stay here. But man, if you're looking to take advantage, now's the time. In the funded account, I'll try to be clear on this. There's no consistency rule. There is no % consistency rule that you have to hit before you take a payout. You can run it up from day one. You can take your time. You can do whatever you want. There's no minimum trading days to payout, and there is daily payouts. You can get paid on the first day of being in the funded account. In the 50K, for example, as all of those accounts that are on that list that I was just comparing have, there's a buffer that you have to get over. $2,000 for top one, which is also an added advantage. It's lower than a lot of the other ones on that list. So in the 50K account, for example, you get funded, you put up $2,000, profit past that $2,000 is eligible for withdrawal that day. $1,000 payout cap per account per day. So technically, copy trading 5, you can get funded and day one get paid $5,000. 90-10 profit split on these bad boys. Very similar to the other ones. Some of the other firms have an 80-20 advantage top one. Now, end of day trailing drawdown in highlights here, right? End of day trailing drawdown in both the eval and the funded account. Wild. No TPT, no my funded futures with the intraday trailing drawdown. Again, they have a super high payout cap, so it's a very different type of account. Along with that, no activation fee. No activation fee. I'm watching the market start to dip here, guys. Hang on. No activation fee in the eval or funded account. It's an all-in price. And again, code RDF is better than the 109 a month here if you want to check it out. So if you want to check it out, link is in the site. If you guys have questions, please feel free. Let me know. Again, things change fast in prop firm land. Wow. We got momentum to the downside, guys. I saw it over here on Bookmap as we started to talk here. Hang tight, hang tight. If you guys got questions on prop firms, you got questions across different firms, different accounts, please let me know. More than happy to talk about it. But watch this market start to move. Let's see if we want to get a trade on. Let's see what we want to do. Yeah, pushed right down into those 700s, trading 46,000, 680, 670s right now in YM here. I'm watching to see if we let go. This feels like so far shorts were the play, obviously, right? Sold off since the open. We're now down through VWAP here, trading nearly 200 points below. I'm curious to see if these markets give out. If the bottom falls out and we start to go. Just based on the open and this structure, I do think there's a good chance to chop. I mean, so far we really haven't made a case for one big directional move outside of this daily candle just yet to go and push the high or low. It's not like we have a super duper tight range like we were talking about. 840 something. I think 844 was top to bottom on this daily candle. I'm sitting patient on this because there just really hasn't been much to do. There's no setup for me yet at all. Really at all. Any day of the week if I'm in this, I did something wrong. You know, now as we're making the case to move lower here through VWAP, I'm getting interested in that continuation short. I don't know that this is going to be the market that gives me a pullback. I think it might be you're going to have to join this thing to the downside and run a stop outside, right? So long story short, I'm staying patient. Long story short, I'm getting patient. Man, this market has been really flat. No consistency is a crazy part, but monthly fee is getting me crying face. Yeah, monthly fee in the eval. Of course, no rebill at the end of the month is nice for firms that do that. You could just take forever. You know, maybe I do find it hard to understand that side of the thing, that side of the realm, because I'm a long way away from trading, evals that take me over a month to pass. But I do understand some traders just want to just get into an eval and go like, super duper slow. But for the most part, I don't think most are gonna worry about that. Most people are not trading evals for a month. Just so you guys know the numbers behind that. Most are not. Most are not going to the end of the month, whether they pass or fail, right? Down below VWAP here, man. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this. I don't know, chat. I don't know, Chatty McChat. We're chilling. We're talking Cartagena, Colombia. We're talking prop firms. Thank you. Bye. Peace. All the best for today. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, bro, again, ASF, I appreciate you, man. You asked the same thing multiple times and I responded. So I'm going to give you I appreciate you being here. And again, I never want to come off as a dick, but, excuse my language. You don't have to keep asking me that. It's time to sleep, but yeah, please update the prop firm video. It's just repetitive. You don't have to say that. You don't have to ask me to do that. I already explained that after you asked it multiple times, so it does become repetitive. So that's the one warning, and I know everybody wants the giveaways, and I get it. I know everybody's in different spots, but it just, first off, it annoys me, and second off, it takes away from me saying anything of value like right now where I'm talking about it. So all good, man. No worries, no hard feelings, but just please don't do that anymore. It opens the door for everybody else to do it, and then all I do is talk about giveaways, and I don't like to do that. I like to do a ton of giveaways because I like doing giveaways. I used to love winning giveaways. I know you guys love giveaways, but I don't want it to retract from all of the other stuff that we do here. And over the weekend and last week, it certainly started to. And if that starts to happen, what happens is I'll go no giveaways. We can't do it. We're growing too much, and the chat is all giveaways. My Discord's all go. It's not. That's just not what I want to do. I want it to be where you can win giveaways every other day, and just everybody gets free accounts. It's great, but I don't want to spend time on it, and I don't want you guys to spend time on it, and I don't want the chat to be talking about where the giveaway is and when they update. Like, it's all good, dude. If you've won an account from me and you didn't get it, that's the only time really I want to hear you hitting me up and say, hey, dude, I won an account and I didn't get it. If that ever happens, reach out immediately, hit me in DMs. I'll follow up with me multiple times. I'll make sure you get it. I never want that to happen. But outside of that, man, watching this thing look like it wants to break, dude. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This feels a little bit weak. This feels a little bit weak sauce. I don't know. Looking at the 5 minute here, looking at the 1 minute. That was some volume to the downside here. Coming into initial balance. We got time. It's only 10-12. We got plenty of time. We're chilling, guys. I'm not going to do anything crazy. But this could go. This could definitely go. Let's take a... Not Macy's. Let's take a look at NQ. Low time frames here. Chat. Chatty McChat chat. What do we think, guys? What are you doing in this? You let me know. We got a bunch of people on. I appreciate you hopping on. We got the stream is growing, by the way. It's insane. Obviously, I get stuff that goes back and forth. I'm so grateful to have so many people that hop on every damn day. We got more and more people almost every day. I'm over 15,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is awesome. I'm super grateful for that. I cracked 10K on IG. All of the metrics are just exponentially going higher and higher, which is great. I really appreciate everybody that hops on. The community, my Discord has over 2,500 members in the Discord, and I've only been putting out content for around that 2-year mark. I started sharing my journey about 2 years ago. And even when I started, I really wasn't consistent. I wasn't live trading every day. I did a lot of like not live trading and just making different things. I bounced around. So I'm super grateful. Super, super grateful, man. Thanks for being here. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate you. If you're new here, you don't know me, welcome to the show, boys. Real Deal Futures. My name's Zach, aka Real Deal Zach. A little bit about me as we're watching this market maybe break to the downside. I don't claim to be the best trader. I don't claim to have it all figured out. I don't claim to have some edge in the market or some magic strategy where you could pay me and take my course. I don't claim anything. I just share what trading looks like for me. The good, the bad, the trash, the mistakes made, the good, the run-ups, the payouts, the back-to-back, holding on to live accounts for months and taking 18 payouts from the same damn one, like we got rolling right now. And you can decide if that's helpful, right? Free community, free everything really across the board as far as content and all that stuff goes. I don't have a paid group. I don't have a paid VIP specialty course or an indicator or anything right now. I don't have a mentorship. Just free 99, man. So if that's valuable for you, awesome. If not, I hope you find somebody that you find value from, right? Because I don't think I will be for everybody for sure. But I appreciate you being here, man. I'm grateful for everybody that's here, that watches, that hops on the live streams, that's on socials, that comments, that likes, that supports, all that fun stuff. And as always, I'm partnered and affiliated with prop firms, with software companies, with companies and platforms that I use myself, that I believe in, that I think you and others may find value in my humble, biased, incentivized reasonings for saying that. You use a code, you click a link, you want to support your boy, support the stream, support what we got going on here. I appreciate you. I make money from that. Guess what? You don't have to do that. And in fact, if it's anything other than the best opportunity that you decide for yourself, you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't use a code or a link or anything, right? Why would you do that? It's free 99 across the board here. Unless you find Top 1 Futures or, Bookmap or somebody that I'm partnered and affiliated with is a great opportunity to check out. What are you doing? Clicking a link, man. We're boys. You don't have to do that. So that's the rant. That's the rant on who the hell I am, man. As far as my trading goes, I like to do this. I don't like to talk about it, guys. I like to be about it. I like to let you decide for yourself. I like to pull up and get cooked, and you guys can say, this dude sucks. I'm not watching him. And then I like to pull up on Friday and bottom tick the market in front of a room full of prop firm CEOs and badass traders, almost all of them that are better than me and been doing it longer than me, and catch a banger and request a payout and put, $700 in the bank account because it's a live account, Top 1 Futures, prop firm live account, right? And then you guys could go, oh, maybe he's got some sauce, right? A lot of people talk, hindsight stuff, all the back end stuff, no shade, no drama, no hate, no nothing, man. Live trading. That's the only thing I cared about when I was watching, guys. Once I figured out all the BS that everybody does. And I think that's what most of you guys care about, right? It's not easy. It's time consuming. A lot of time and energy and money to do all of this. But anything other than this doesn't display jack shit to me, okay? We live in the day and age of ChatGPT and Claude, okay? Pretty soon, I don't even know if live trading is going to be enough. I don't know. You might not. I might be like a Claude bot or something. Straight AI sitting in here. It's crazy. But yeah, this is the only way that you can prove anything, show anything, display your skill set is live trading consistently over a long period of time, day in and day out, describing your process, real live trading, executions on the chart. Click the button, put the P&L up there. Let me see the stop. Let me see the target. Let me see it all on screen. Over and over and over again. I don't want to see broker statements. I don't want to see hindsight shit. I don't want to see the prop firm payouts posted. I don't care about any of that. Even if it's legit, Doesn't show me how you did it, okay? Showing me your Lambo doesn't help me pass a prop firm account, okay? That's cool. I'm hyped that you got the Lambo, right? I got a nice car. Maybe you guys are hyped that I got the Porsche, okay? That doesn't help anybody. It doesn't show anything. It doesn't prove anything, but it certainly has nothing to do with trading. So, you know, like this, not to rant a little bit, but, you know, so I'm going to clip that because that's what I feel. That's what I feel. So, anyway, guys. Let's see what we got here. Finding some buyers here, man. I'm waiting patiently. Hanging out, waiting patiently. Again, I'm not going anywhere. It's Monday. We're back in action from Colombia. This is firing me up a little bit, honestly. I love watching the markets. Love hanging out, yapping about the markets. I'm not feeling super anxious or like I need to trade today at all. I've gotten cooked. I think that comes from getting cooked so many times when the market kicks off on news, kicks off on conflict, unfortunately, that I know what works better for me, like on Friday, was to just back off a little bit, take my time. And so I'm going to do that again today. Like on Friday, we chilled, bottom tick. Not bottom tick, but, you know, not decent trade on there. So I'm not going anywhere. I think the opportunity may come. Today, I would be a little bit surprised if I don't get any trade on, at least throughout the whole day, let alone just the live session. We'll see what presents itself over the next, you know, hour or so while we're hanging out here, maybe a little bit longer. But I'm chilling for right now, watching this market. We start to move. I could see the potential for the move to the downside, guys. So for YM here, right? I'm just gonna show it on the 5-minute because you can see a little bit clearer with the breaking retest. You know, YM here. If you're the VWAP kid, we gave up VWAP. We got some closures below. Buyers bringing it back up, right? Maybe you say, I'm going to wait to see what happens up here, right? And we start to come back down on this. I'm looking short, right? I'm looking short. We got a bearish bar forming. And I think we're going to dump, okay? And that gives me a way to structure risk. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe you're someone who trades like this, right? I could see that. I could see a lot of people waiting for that right now. Maybe you say, hey, this thing's finding buyers down here, which it is a little bit. And I'm going to take this back through the highs, okay? Could always make the case for both sides of this. But for me, we're chopping down around VWAP and volume point of control. We're balanced right now, at least for this movement. Bearish into session change over the open of the trading week. Bullish through Asia, London. Bearish into NYSE Open here. So we're a little bit back and forth on the day. I'm trying to find the areas that I'd like to get involved, and right now it's none of this. I am interested in the downside, like I talked about today. Yeah, man, this might be it. This might be it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything right here, guys. But gun to my head, I'm short. If you said you gotta take a trade shorts, like now, I'm not doing it though. I don't have any way to structure risk on this. You know, that was your off VWAP move, right? Maybe you want to run something like that. You know, above prior bar high. You know, 2 15-minute bar highs, right? You can run something like that to the downside. Gun to my head if I had to take something to be short. I just think, you know, the potential for this to continue is there, right? Why is that? The potential for this to continue is there. And, you know, if we're going to go lower, right? Kind of like we saw on the daily chart when I was really zoomed out in March, you know, once we start to go, we could go. We could really go, right? Like you could really start to hold on to trades and catch some big movements, okay? I'm not taking this. Again, I don't love this as a risk structure. YM loves to come back up to areas of high volume. I think this could be one of those easy stop outs and then continuation. I'm going to watch what happens up here. And in fact, I'm even more interested if we return to this level up here. I'm starting to frame this out now that we're talking. Now that we're moving a little bit. I'm not going to get the breakout. If we break this low, I'm chilling. I'm hanging out. If we break this low, I'm not in. If we pull up the way we're pulling up right now, I'm interested to see what happens when we get back up here. We find sellers up here again, right? I'm not going to sell here, but we find sellers up here again. This is the continuation style, right? A little bit less aggressive than just buying into straight selling pressure off the open. We find sellers up here and we come back down and you know, this is the take everybody out that got short off these lows, which it looks like it's going to do right now, and then come back down through the lows, I might look to try to join that. It's not going to be a great validation point for a trade like that, but I might look to do that on YM. That could be my trade. What I'd really like for something like that is a clean and valid. Actually, what would provide a clean and validation point? Excuse my language. Excuse my yapping back and forth. If we do pull up in here and then start to turn back to the downside, we form a high like this without breaking above, and then we really get some selling pressure. We get some aggressive movement to the downside. I could be interested in this. Back above VWAP. Looks like we want to go and take out these. Trade back to this consolidation from pre-market. I'm curious here, guys. I'm curious. Now, is this just going to be a flip today bullish, and this is the low from, NYSE session? This is going to be IB low that we're not going to break. We're going to break IB high and trade back up through here. Maybe, right? That's your case for the long side from a technical perspective. But I want to watch what happens as we trade back towards the 47,000 evens. Let's see. Maybe we get something here. Maybe we got something in here. That's why we're watching. Again, more of the continuation short. It's not the mean reversion off the open. This is the less frequent trade that I take. But given the context, like we talked about off of the open, you can go back. I've been yapping for an hour here, right? Talking about, my approach. Given the context, I'm more inclined to look for this today. If we turn, I'm interested to the downside, but I don't know that we do. This kind of feels like we want to get another pop out of this. CVD on ES growing to the upside. Similar on NQ. Taking a look at Bookmap over here on the left-hand side, my favorite order flow tool. You want to check out Bookmap? I got the hookup for you. If you want to look at actual liquidity instead of just talking about where liquidity is on a candlestick chart and guessing where it is, you don't have to do that. I always find it funny when people talk about stuff like that. There's certainly assumptions of where liquidity is in very obvious spots. There's different types of liquidity, but the liquidity you see on Bookmap can certainly be helpful. Just going around these, watching ES here as we come through some highs. Curious, guys. I'm curious. Chat. What's up? Let's see. Let me zoom up here. Sorry if I offended you. No, you didn't offended me. But I think that's more of a language barrier. But I appreciate you, bro. All good. Called the move and got chopped out. Nate, what's up, bro? That sucks. Yeah, this is interesting. Like I said, gun to my head short. I'm gonna stick with that. Gun to my head as we came back down short. And right now, if you said you have to take a trade, I'm short. But I don't have a gun to my head and I don't have to take a trade, so I'm not short. Hence me not having a P&L running on the screen. Let's see. Waiting patiently. Cool, Dwayne, what's up, man? I'm just waiting. I don't feel confident taking anything yet. Yeah. Most of trading is waiting, guys. Listen, I love clicking buttons, right? I love being a degenerate, okay? It's fun. But guess what? Am I here to have fun or am I here to make money? What's your priority? You want to have fun? You want to make money, right? I'm in an account, at least here off the open, where I don't want to lose it. I want to trade it pretty slowly and conservatively and take what I would consider good trades, at least what I think are good trades, right? Maybe you are a degenerate on a paper account. You have some fun clicking buttons and you see how that, doesn't work out over time. Okay. Maybe you do that in evals really aggressively and, you kind of figure out how you can start to scale with that. But I'm focused up on why I'm here. I'm not looking to do anything crazy. And, a lot of that for me and for most traders is waiting patiently and sometimes painfully, not doing anything, okay? There's a lot of fun sayings that can help with that. And I get flack for that. People say, oh, I never takes a trade. This guy never takes an effing trade. I'm like, dope, man. If I'm the guy that you watch that's not just full porting accounts back and forth, I'm happy to be that guy, okay? 9 out of 10 people that you watch, well, maybe not back that up. A lot of guys that you watch, are clicking buttons. They're incentivized to click buttons because it's entertaining. I know that. As soon as I click a button and there's a P&L running on the screen, my concurrent viewers jump. I understand you guys want to see what trading looks like, right? That's what we're here to do. And some days, this is what trading looks like. No setup, we're sitting in VWAP, not really picking a direction. And I'm not going to just maybe get lucky with a win or get unlucky with a loss, right? We don't need luck because we're not gambling. So anyway, that's the thought process here. I will say, I've had very few no trade sessions. Very, very, very few over the last few weeks. I've been putting trades on, man, and taking wins or losses. And I kind of got a feeling we're going to have one that comes. But a lot of you guys are saying the same. Just sitting patiently, not really feeling it, just waiting. Just waiting. Talked to a lot of guys. I talked to a lot of guys down, obviously, in Colombia where we were all hanging out and trading. And you talk in detail about their journey. Big turning points for a lot of traders, big turning points is patience. Was realizing that the market doesn't pay by the hour. You don't get paid more the more times you buy and sell. You just don't. It has really no influence. It doesn't matter. You have to survive. You have to survive when the market's not setting up for you. And part of that is not doing something stupid when the market's not doing anything for you. Now, this might be perfect for somebody else. This might be like they're like crushing it. They're scalping. They're up 10 grand. Okay. And another day, it might be perfect for me. And for them, they're like, this is trash. I hate this. It's different for everybody, right? But try to get a feel for what your market looks like, what conditions look like for you, when your setup's coming, so you know when to get ready, when your setup presents itself, what you need to actually hit the buy or sell button, and then smash those trades. Put those on without reservation or hesitation, in the wise words of Mark Douglas. But until then, if you're clicking buttons, you're just you're doing nothing. You're just having fun, and you can have fun. That's cool. But if you put having fun above making money, you're gonna have fun. You ain't gonna make money. You put making money above having fun, you might have fun. You might enjoy what you're doing, but at very least, you might make money. Probably not. Almost nobody makes money, but maybe you stand a chance. There's one of the best quotes that I pondered for a long time. I'm gonna finish this rant. I think this is out of Market Wizards. I think this is Ed Sequoia. I don't think it's Sequoia because that's a tree. That's the way my brain works. I'm an idiot when it comes to like the hyper specifics, which is why I think I'm good with discretionary trading. But I do remember these things and I remember the meaning behind them, which I think is the important part. But essentially, the quote was, everybody gets what they want out of the markets. Okay. And the guy who was doing the interview and then, kind of giving his opinion on all of the interviews had said at the time, which is what I said, I don't know what the hell that means. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody gets what they want in the markets. No, they don't. Everybody wants to make money, and almost nobody makes money. And, the quote holds true. Everybody gets what they want out of the markets. You might think you want to make money. You might think that's but that might and is probably not what you want right now. You might want to be here for entertainment. You might want a dopamine hit. You might really subconsciously be sitting here and your monkey brain wants to see that P&L flash, right? You might really want to win this next trade. That's not making money. That's not trading effectively. You might want to make $1,000 right now. That's not making, that's not making money, right? That's forcing a trade to make money right here, right now in an inconsistent market, which, just does not make sense, okay? You might want to prove you know how to trade to somebody that's told you that you don't know how to trade, right? You might want to prove somebody that said nobody can make money day trading wrong, okay? That's not making money, right? And again, it gets big. What does it mean to trade, right? What is our job here? try to create something with some consistency that will generate a positive expected value over a large series of trades, right? That's a rough. There's a whole lot more that goes into it, right? Through risk management, technical analysis, fundamentals, whatever it is you want to do, okay? When you step outside of that, you're telling yourself, and your actions are proving that you don't want to make money in the markets. You are doing things that will not generate money in the markets over a consistent period of time, okay? So again, that to me, when I first read it, I was like, I don't know what the hell these dudes are talking about. I was like, super early in, like, everybody wants to make money. Why the hell would you sit down at the screen, right? I want to make money. I'm not making money. This dude's an idiot. Meanwhile, it's, like, these are the best traders, arguably, of all time, right? Market Wizards and all those books. Essentially what that is, the Market Wizards series is just interviews with all of the best traders across different, like, time periods. The original one is very old, but I find it to be the best one. Reflect on that and ask yourself, you know what trading is, right? You know how, probably, if you've been here for longer than a couple months, maybe you're 6 months to a year in, you probably understand what it means to trade in a way where you might make money, right? At least you're doing the things that make sense. But ask yourself, when you go on tilt, when you continue trading after taking a win, after taking a loss, when you do stupid stuff, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? What is the driver? Is it wanting to make money right now? Is it not wanting to accept a loss? Is it wanting to be right? Is it wanting to prove the market wrong? Prove somebody else wrong? What is it? What's the demon, bro? And sit down with yourself and face it. Until you face that, you're not going to stand a chance for a long period of time. And it's usually not one, right? And you figure it out one day, it's all good. But until you identify what that is for you, because it's out there for everybody, right? And come to terms with that, and then work on slowly that exposure therapy of not giving in to that weakness, you're not going to stand a chance, man. A lot of people is just general lack of discipline. They're undisciplined in every other area of their life, and they come to the charts with money on the line. They think they're going to be disciplined, bro. Not even close. I would consider myself a fairly disciplined person, right? I've competed at a decent level across multiple different sports, right? I've gone pretty far in different career paths, okay? I've made it through marathons and ultra marathons, not at great paces, but the training, to get some of that stuff done, I would say requires some discipline. I've had some successes in trading here. I'd say that requires some discipline. With all of that, I still find it the single most difficult thing to be disciplined in. Okay, I really do. Outside of being, fit and going to the gym and nutrition, which is all incredibly hard, having a good sleep schedule, being cautious with, any kind of vices, right? Whatever that is for you. If you're not conquering all of that first, and you come to, the biggest casino of all time, you don't stand a chance, man. So that's the rant for today. That's the sauce, guys. That's the psychology, mindset, back end of this, right? We're not talking about creating an edge through technicals right now. We're not talking about risk management and stop losses. That's what everybody wants to hear, bro. I know that. I do know that. But that's the easy part, in my humble biased opinion. That's the easy part. That's not the hard part. If that was the hard part, everybody would make money, right? That's the easy stuff. But most of you guys know that. If you've been here for a while, if you've been trading for a while, you know that. You know it's frustrating. Market finding buyers, pushing back up through this yap fest. I'm not doing nothing, guys. I want to see if we find sellers again. We turn to the downside. This does not feel like it. This feels like a low. This feels like a strong low on the 15-minute. Watching ES over here on Bookmap as well. Climbing on CVD to the upside. That's an indication buyers want to take this thing higher. YM testing a key level in here. Right? I said as we trade back towards the 47,000 evens up in here, I'm interested to see what happens. We're back above the first and second 15-minute bar highs, which I don't talk too much about, but I do pay attention to on a day like today where we're just putting in consecutive low, 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 low. We're not breaking highs, right? Inside bar here, and then we go and crack the prior two highs. No wick to the down. Is there like zero wick on this? No, there's a wick on that, right? Yeah, tiny. Tiny wick on that. Yeah, I'm hanging, man. I'm hanging. Oh, let's see. The Porsche is sick. I'll take your Porsche. Bray's still looking fresh, can't lie. Listen, guys, if you missed it earlier, because they're gonna come out soon. We got laced up like little children down in Jamaica for the first time with their parents. Like I was joking around, made that joke 20 times. Yeah, we got some cornrows down in Colombia. Like absolute idiots. But I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, they're fire. They know what they're doing down there. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon. Been off and on due to white collar job. Nah, I feel you. I'm still nothing, man. I'm still hanging, just yapping. If you guys got questions, you got something you want to talk about, you got something you want to yap about, you got questions about props, about trading, about, my input on something, I'm more than happy to talk to you. Within reason, right? I read comments and do not respond sometimes. Plenty of times. But feel free, throw them in chat. Interesting market, man. Interesting market after this news. Crazy. Let's see. Blend of both. Doing what you like is fun. Making money is kingly. King through life with fun. Yeah, I love that, bro. I love that. And again, like, that's not to say that some people take a really hard approach, right? I'll read some more of this stuff. Some people take a really hard approach and say, enjoying the markets is bad, right? You should want to spend your life outside, and the market should be a vehicle to make money. I don't really subscribe to that. I think you have to want to be here for the love of the game. I think you have to genuinely. Well, you could probably make money, maybe, but you're gonna be behind guys that really like watching the markets, that are like chart nerds. Like I've been staring at candlesticks for a while now. Maybe I'll be really tired of it one day, but not yet. And I think you do have to be genuinely interested in trading, right? I find guys that like bounce around what they think are these like quick, low energy, low focus, passive income things. Like they do like real estate or like drop shipping or something. And then they like, Amazon FBA. And then they're like, oh, I'll do the trading thing. Like, nah, bro, it's not. You're grouping it in with the very wrong type of career that this is, and the type of the all of your life that you're gonna have to put into this. So, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy what you do in that way. Enjoy the challenge, right? Enjoy the markets. Enjoy paying attention. And developing. I think, in fact, you need to do that. But if you're here for more of a dopamine hit, right? That like gambler's mindset, like the vice, right? That type of thing. And you turn it into that. That's no bueno. The opposite, you pay the market more if you click more because fees adds up. Yeah. Huge move down in Asia session and reversal in London. Just consolidation now. Sitting on my hands till tomorrow probably. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I think you're going to see a lot. Well, usually you don't see a lot of red P&Ls. You only see the green P&Ls. But I think you're going to see a lot of red P&Ls today. I think you probably had a lot of people getting aggressively short overnight. And this movement, for good reason, right? I get it. Not great. And I think you probably had some people in here getting aggressively long off the open for gap fills. And that wouldn't have worked out too good. And then maybe you got people getting short here because you're like, all right, gap down, pull back, no fill, and then dump is coming. And that wouldn't be working too great either. We are 300 points off the lows. So I don't know. If you're making money in this market, I'll give you an attaboy, a pat on the back. Again, gun to my head, I would still be short, but we're making the case for a move to the upside. In fact, if out of all of the session, I like this spot for a short best with a stop outside of the highs. I'm not going to take this, but right here, right? We didn't blast through this. It certainly feels like we could put that big green candle or white candle in my case to the upside and just go trade through. But if we're going to break lows and continue lower, and we're not going to come up here and do that, this in my humble opinion presents the best risk structure. You know, again, down in here like I was talking about, why, right? Like why do I like this, right? If this is going to prevail, today, right? We're not going to go higher, right? We're going to go lower. If this is not going to prevail today, and we come through these highs, I think you're dead wrong, which I often talk about, right? I make that statement a lot, which I like to be. I think I would be dead wrong, and we're blasting up here, right? I think that's where we're headed next, and maybe higher. But we're certainly not turning to the downside and selling off, if we, at least for now, if we come up here. I'm not short up here as we flip the bullish candle, the huge bearish candle, fill the gap and break highs into the afternoon. Like, that's not the movement that I'm aiming for. I don't think you have time to have that play out on an intraday, prop account. Again, like Friday, right? I was short in here. This was my trade from Friday. We get like an object tree. I probably have like 1,000 positions things on here, right? This was my trade from Friday, right? Aggressive. This was the exact trade. You can go back to the live stream, P&L running, the whole thing. This was in this same account, payout taken, the whole fun thing, right? I always get questions on that type of stuff, but I did not hold this. This is obviously, I'm showing you like the best possible scenario. I caught this on a mini, right, with a bounce back up, and right in here, is a little under $1,000, right? What do I like about this? And like I talked about, this is aggressive. This was as the market's selling off into the open. It is the mean reversion trade back towards VWAP on a quick pop up. And there's multiple reasons that went into the management of this trade. But what do I like about this? If we broke this low, if we got outside of this level any more than we already had, I was dead wrong. And in my humble opinion, right, which is easy to say in hindsight, but the reason, one of the reasons I structured risk this way, if we traded another 200 points below this low, I don't think we're doing that, right? I think we're doing that. And I think, Friday is a huge down day, right? That's fine. I have a good way to structure risk. I have a good way to say, I think potentially buyers and sellers are going to put up a fight here. If I'm wrong, I'm dead wrong. If I'm, halfway right, maybe I get out for break even. If I'm right, maybe I catch a bounce like I did, okay? So, that way of thinking helps me a little bit, right? Not what am I going to predict? What has to happen here? Or market's going now. What point on the chart can I structure my risk in an ideal way? I couldn't do that down here. Really couldn't do that down here, right? I don't think you're dead wrong. I think we can still go to the downside, right? In fact, I'm talking about getting short. That doesn't tell me you're dead wrong, right? Selling off this low. This to me, for the way that I trade on the 15-minute chart, this is dead wrong, right? We come up here and we break IB high, which we now have set. This is our IB high. This is our IB low, which we can mark. Let's get some fresh, should be like black or gray lines on this chart. Cool. IB low, IB high. The opening range, the first 1 hour opening range from 9:30 a.m. Eastern to 10:30 a.m. Eastern, commonly referred to as the initial balance range. The IB high and the IB low. Let's change the colors of those so we can see them. Pretty strong stats from Edgeful behind this. But again, I think if we come and crack this IB high, we crack this pre-market high, we got a chance to go fill this. Or make a case. Could just trade into it and sell off. Always, anything's possible. Market can do whatever it wants to do. But that gives me a little bit better of a way to structure risk. Now, I'm not taking this because we're finding buyers, and this is just choppy, man. It's kind of slow-moving, grindy market. I'm not gonna run this. At least not yet. It's not yet. Longs off of VWAP, maybe. Maybe if you survive, we traded 200 points below. Maybe if you got in here off VWAP, it's not like that bad. If you ran something really wide and you're gonna run it long to the upside, but this is like not great, as the kids say. Not great. Hey, Zach, I'm trying to purchase a TOF account, but it's not letting me pay and giving me some error message. Support says it's an issue at my end, but I'm positive that it's not. Sammy08-X. I don't know that I can help you any more than support can. In fact, I don't think you can. I don't think I can. If there's an issue with you trying to purchase, I would try to pay with a different payment method. If it's definitely not the payment method, I would go back and forth with support with a screen recording. If you want, in the Discord, you can send it to me. You can send it to me, and I'll try to review it and help you out. But most of what I do is go, to my contacts. Hey, someone can't buy. But if you're not in the Discord, anybody that wants to hop in, feel free to hop in there. And yeah, Sammy, I'll try to help you out. Just send it over to me in DM. Big money's not in the buying and the selling, but in the waiting. Yep. Fast money formula. What's up? What the hell is that? Like a monkey? A monkey with a hammer? I don't even know what that is. Yo, do those hurt your head? I have long hair. Yeah, bro. These did not feel good. These did not feel good going in, guys. If you guys can't see, we're cornrowed up from Colombia, like absolute psychopaths. I was like, yo, go easy. That you're this hurts, but they kind of were like hurt and like itchy, and you can't scratch them, so it's interesting. But I think it depends on what kind of hair you have, also. Def rough start to the day today. Seems like every time I get fun to the markets, SHIT. Yeah, chill out on it. Just chill. Back to break even on the day, taking a breather. Zach, I was wondering, isn't order blocks and supply just supply and demand zones? Just wondering. I've been trading for like 11 years, and I would have called order blocks back then supply and demand. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So, Money Reaper. And Mr. Rick says, Iron Condor kind of day. Yeah, Iron Condor kind of day. Unless it gives out. Unless it gives out. Again, my call short up here. If I had to, short for a break of the IB low and a crack of the and a trade down towards the lows of the day. But I'm not feeling the need to do anything too crazy up here. Retest of current volume point of control. Retest of this area. We got a reason to believe maybe we find sellers in here after taking everybody else out. CVD dropping off a little bit on ES, not quite clearing out everything to the upside, but this could be something. Either that or we rip. Either that or we rip, and we just take, which is kind of like classic. Okay, war's breaking out, gap down at the open. Everyone's like, short, here we go. Sell off the open for U.S. indices, and what do? Green day, right? We fake everybody out. We trap shorts, and then we go. And then we fake them out off the open for NYSE, and then we go back up, right? Classic, like, whatever you think's about to happen, whatever makes sense, we're not going to do that. We're going to go heat seek. We're going to go search and destroy mode, as some of the young kids say on NQ. Seek and destroy, or search and destroy. So, Money Reaper. Order blocks, supply, demand, support and resistance, right? Here's my thoughts on that. I've seen people in the retail trading space identify them all differently. They will say supply and demand zones are this, and order blocks are this, and fair value gaps are this, and high volume nodes are XYZ, and support and resistance and supply and demand and order blocks, and all these things are different, right? Whatever, and imbalances are different than fair value gaps, and like all different, right? The way that I look at this, what I draw, I try to call them something different. I try to call them areas of interest, which essentially is the most general, vague way to put all of those things together. Support and resistance, supply and demand, order blocks, you can call whatever the imaginary, area of interest on your chart based on market structure, price action, and volume, marked extremely similarly, right? In my opinion, the same, right? To me, it's all the same SHIT. I find everybody marks them slightly differently. And I find everybody marks support and resistance, supply and demand, and order blocks all differently anyway. But I think if you like asked somebody else, they'd say, no, order block is this, support and resistance is this, supply and demand is this. They have clear definitions. I don't know, not to me. I see it just convoluted all in between. So I wouldn't stress that at all. I would find out how you want to consistently identify areas of interest on your chart. Go back to the beginning of the screen, the beginning of the, live stream, and continue to watch me trade live, and you will find how this is not a hindsight level, how I marked this zone and waited as we came down aggressively into it all the way into the low end and started to just dip down here before getting long for a pop back up, right? But you got to find it for yourself. I like to use visible range volume profile, traditional volume profile, and really market structure, price action market structure from a high time frame. I find I can mark stuff up best, and I find the best areas of interest from higher time frames. Those tend to be more important, which is a subjective way, to talk about it. But yeah. But like, if you're trading with somebody, right, specifically, and they have, stuff that they mark on their chart, they might call it something really specific. I don't like to do that. I find it to be more confusing. And I also find that, to me, I used to place so much weight on that, right? I'd be like, what's the best way to mark a support and resistance zone? And what's the difference between a supply and demand? And how should you mark it from the top of the wick to the top of the close? And then this zone is this, and here's exactly where to enter. And I found that I was trying to make trading way more exact than it was ever going to be for me. And it just led to more frustration and more time and energy used on stuff that didn't matter in lieu of things that did matter, right? Utilizing your discretion at the levels based on, something else that you're using on your chart. So I try not to demonstrate that to others. I try to show you where a lot of this is an art form as much as it is, as frustrating as that is, as much as it is a science, right? If it was just as easy as identifying everything 100% objective with no opinion, no manual trading would be needed, we would code it into bots and EAs and we would let it rip. Those don't work, right? We can't, we don't, that's why we're here. So anyway, that's my rant on that. Hope that helps. Labels are subjective. Yeah, facts. I like those areas of interest. Thanks. Market feels like a scam today. Yeah, that's why I'm trying not to get scammed. I'm hanging out with you guys talking about support and resistance versus supply and demand. Happy Monday to you folks. What's up? What's up, man? What's going on, people? What's going on? Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for being here, chat, while we're hanging out, chilling. Maybe we want to go break through this high. Maybe it's not shorts. Guys, while we are hanging, I will be right back. Be right back, guys. I'm going to grab a drink. Chat. Chatty McChat chat. I'm in agreement with you guys. I think this market is not it for me. Not it for me, at least for right now. So I'm hanging with you guys. I'm hanging tight. We're chilling out. We're talking about psychology, Columbia and cornrows. Talking about subjective labels, where everybody goes.
You have to mark the support and resistance zone from the top of the order block where the candles go, and in between the inverse fair value gap liquidity sweep.
That's where the banks trade. I'm like, okay, buddy, if that works for you, you figure it out. I love the I trade like the banks, boys. Really, bro? Really? You trade like the banks in your eval? I don't think so. I don't trade like the banks. I trade like an idiot down in Colombia with cornrows. Let's see. And you can make money doing it, bro. No, we were my bad. I see the chat. You guys are laughing. We were having fun because me and Ace were like Ace of Trades. I don't know if you know Ace of Trades. It's hysterical. Me and Ace were the kid is so funny. Hold on, I have to pull up some videos, guys. Like we're hanging out here. I'm gonna try to pull up some videos. Yo, let me know in the chat. Listen, I don't want to take away from what we're doing here, guys. Let me know in the chat if this market's kind of boring and we're not really doing anything. And if you want to watch some funny videos from Colombia, if you want to watch some of the clips of the things that I'm describing, so we don't have to look at the just nothing happening. I'm interested to see if we break IB high here or IB low. I'm not going to get short for continuation back down. I don't have a long. I'm hanging out. I would like to be at the desk today because I was off the desk quite a bit last week. So I'm not really going anywhere. But let me know if you guys want me to pull up some videos here. Boring as hell. Yeah, B-roll. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm gonna send a couple of these over. Hang on one second, guys. Hang on one second. There was a video. There's a video where we're both taking payouts, and I made that one into a reel. But there's a video of where we're at dinner and I'm filming, and like almost every time I would scroll past Ace, he would just get up and scream, "RDF, let's effing go!" Like I'm gonna see if I can find some of these. Let's see. We'll pull up some pictures of the boys here. Oh man. Let's get the little airdrop rolling because it's not all. Like I said, I got back yesterday at like 8 o'clock or so. I unpacked some stuff, got some good food in me. Took a shower and took my tired ass to bed. That was most of the day. That was most of my evening. So, I definitely don't have a ton prepared as far as all my videos and content and everything over. Let's see if I can just airdrop back and forth even while I'm live. I can. Yeah, cool. Hang on. We'll pull up some pictures, man. And then we'll pull up some videos. Let's start with the not ridiculous stuff first. Start with the not ridiculous stuff. So, let's see. Will these pop up? Yeah. So this was from the Friday live session. Can you guys see these? Yeah, this was from the Friday live session. That was a ton of the team down there. Super, super fun. I think this is going to come out in like horrible quality. That was a little room we had down there, which the whole thing wasn't about live trading, so it wasn't like anything too crazy, but it ended up working out really, really awesome. If you go back and watch the live stream from Friday, it's hysterical. Super cool. We got Ace, a bunch of the back-end team, Matt Morris, which is the CEO. You guys know Clay's been on the show a whole bunch of times. Bryson on their team, someone else who's big up there. All these guys, obviously. Cam as well from their team. Never Pull Over, Adam, Isaac, myself,
for some reason looking super mad while everybody else is smiling. I don't know. I didn't get the memo. Nobody told me to smile. I don't know why I look so upset. JJ from Prop Hub, Tanner the Strong Trader. This dude's absolutely jacked in real life. And, of course, Austin Silver. Somebody said no female traders, but quite a bit of wives were there. This is a horribly blurry picture. Even more of the team was out there. As you can see, this was, I think this was most of the people. I don't know if we got even one picture where everybody was together, to be honest. But that was super fun. That was like drone shot. We had like videographers and stuff. Let me see if I can pull up a little bit more, man. So, check this out, guys. So, not funny. This is not funny, but, of course, not funny. It was actually super upset. A lot of people down there started getting sick, right? A lot of people down there like started getting sick, and I was like, oh no, I'm definitely gonna get sick. I somehow was one of the, like, you know, the half that didn't get sick, and I definitely deserved it because I ate everything off of all of this stuff. Like, I love the local stuff. Like, if you take me to a country like Colombia and somebody pulls up on the side of the like, oh, I got the video, hang on. And somebody pulls up on the side of the, you know, boat that we're on, and they're slinging, you know, like this, I kept calling it lobster, and they're like, it's a big shrimp, it's a Caribbean shrimp, whatever. They're slinging lobsters like this, bro. I'm buying it. I'm buying it off the side. But as everyone started to, like, you know, kind of get like a little bit of food poisoning or whatever it was, which really sucked. It was, you know, it sucked for everybody. I was like, damn, I'm definitely getting it. Let me see if I can open this up and actually show it. This was the, this was where this came from, just so you guys know. We're chilling, and it was a boat day. We were running around. I know this is like all over the place on the stream. These dudes pulled up on the side. I was like, yes, definitely give me the lobster, bro. That looks hella fresh. Like, I want that. And then everybody started getting sick the next day, and I was like, oh, I'm cooked. I'm cooked. Like, they all ate at the nice restaurants that we're eating in and not off this. I also had an oyster. I had one. But I had oysters from dudes that were out there. I was the only one to eat some of this stuff. Yeah, somehow I made it out. Somehow I didn't get super duper sick, which was nice. Thank you. Somebody above was looking out for my idiot, stupid ass that was eating everything that I probably shouldn't have. Hang on, let's pull up some more fun stuff, man. Yeah, again, guys, I know markets. You know, we're not watching markets here. We're trading through. Got a little pop here. Yeah, I trading through the 700s. Let's pull up some more fun stuff here. Team from down there. Let's B-roll it, man. You guys want to see? Let's see. Let's see the hair is getting braided. Hang on one second. I'm doing this all in real time, so I'm literally like sending the videos to myself. So hang tight. Ugh. There we go. Withdrawal process. Okay, hang on. So let me pause this. This is me and Ace. This was me and Ace taking withdrawals at lunch. He was trading like this dude's an absolute dog. But the caption was, you and your boys are idiots, but you can't stop taking payouts, because we both had cornrows like goons.
Withdrawal process on the top one account. Let's pull the email. Let's see. Payout submitted. I'm gonna block the account number on the bottom. Bang. Let's do it, guys. Down in Colombia, taking payouts from the top one account.
Had to run it with him.
Let's go.
On the max line. You know how we do,
The
baby.
beta is cornrows, guys. If you want to get profitable trading,
It's the only way to do it.
it's cornrows. There we go.
Yo, just shot. Like, really, really just shot, man. But no, it was super fun making some of these. Hang on, let me find the one. I'm trying to find the one where we were all at dinner. I hope I have this video. Hold on, guys. Hold on. You tell me if you've had enough. But we had one where, and I usually don't get around all these guys, which is mad funny.
Okay. Hold on. I'm finding some of these. This one I think I made into a reel also. This was him at a bar. Dude, he racked up. We're sitting at lunch that day. He's like, all right, bro, $1,000 in the live. Like, about to, I'm good to go. And I'm like, okay, cool. I had like one trade where I had like, a few $100, like minimum, whatever. We turn around. He's like, yo, 2,500 in the top one live account. I'm like, yo, what? Like, you still trading? He's like, yeah, bro. Like, the setups are here. I'm like, yo, that's dope, bro. Hit the payout. I swear, bro. I swear, not like 2 minutes later, we're talking about like food or something, or looking at like a little like dog that was running by. He's like, 3,500 in the top one live. We were like, yo, stop, bro. Just chill. Just chill out, bro. Oh, it's too funny. Way too funny. Let me try to find this one. I think this was the second to last day. Hold on. I really hope I found it. Hold on. I don't know if he curses like crazy in this though. Yeah, it was fun. If you can't tell by even just my reaction to this, it was fun. Hold on, let me see. So this was him. I know. Oh, it didn't work. I don't know what that was. Hold on one second. Oh, I'm like re-downloading it. Oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Why is this not working for me? Hold on. This was like a lot of the stuff, obviously, that everybody does. Why is this not working? Is like, scripted, right? Like we're like when I'm sitting at lunch, right? We're like making the reel. I'm like, yo, record this. The stuff from the airport when we were joking around. This one was not scripted. We were hanging out. This was the first night we got down there, and everyone's like going around and stuff. He was just at the bar, like just not being able to like lose trades. They were coming for him. He trades Asia, obviously, like overnight session. He's in Canada. Not to make this all about Ace, but you're my boy Ace and you're hysterical. I just happen to have clips. I got some good ones at Tanner too. I'm gonna mute this. But yo, this is the one. This is the one where we're like having dinner, we're getting the whole film thing going. Full port, no stop loss. Yo, hella, I gotta say, dude, we were hella obnoxious down there. It was fun, guys. It was super fun. Super fun, man. Let me see, man. Super fun. I had a blast. It was really an awesome time down there. Again, those are just a whole bunch of clips. I'm gonna have the whole vlog coming. The whole vlog coming. It was a good time, man. Really good time. And I got so many of these like random little things that were going on outside of everything that were just hysterical. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste too much more time doing it. But the first video of me getting like the cornrows, like getting this into my head. We were down there. Ace was like first person immediately. Like other people getting massages, I was like, nah, like all the vendors and stuff. And Austin had already said, he was like, bro, we should get cornrows. That'd be hysterical. Like, when you were a kid. And I'm like, yeah, bro, maybe, whatever. Those guys were getting it. And I'm like, nah, I'm just trying to chill. Like, I'm making videos and stuff. And they chased me down. Literally were chasing me down, like grabbing my hair, braiding it as I was running away. And I was like, yo, all right, just do one. And then the first video, you can see it on my face. I look so mad. I look so unhappy as I'm getting it. And then after I got it, I was like, yo, this is like, let's run it. Let's make all the videos. And it was fun. And then I actually ended up getting them cleaned up. Ended up getting them redone before I came back so we could run it on the stream. But fun stuff, guys. Super fun stuff. I'm grateful, man. I know not everybody has that opportunity, like I was saying before. I'm very grateful that I got to go down there. I'm grateful that I get to run around this beautiful world that we live in. That I get around other traders and do this type of stuff. And I'd encourage you, man. Listen, I'd encourage you, whether it's me, any of those other guys, conferences, shows, just free trader meetups, because last week on Tuesday, almost all those guys were together in Fort Lauderdale, chilling, hanging out. Try to get out there, man. Try to find something. You know, if you're on the other side of the world, there's a lot of stuff in Europe. There's stuff in Asia that goes on, these trading conferences. Get out, man. Get outside. Get around your people. It's so hard to find anybody that trades in real life, right? Try to put yourself out there. I would encourage you to do that, man. Every time I go and do something, it takes a lot of time and energy and money, but man, there's nothing else like it. Trading is extremely isolating. We're down around ourselves, usually in a room like I am right here, right? This is it. This is day in and day out. So if you get these small chances, get out there. And something I said to myself this year, I'm going to everything going forward. If I don't have something scheduled already, like a wedding or something with my family, a trip, or something that I have an obligation, if I don't have it, as soon as it comes out, it's going on my schedule and I'm going to it. Everything else. I saw stuff in Hollywood that I would have liked to have been at. And Traders for a Cause was right before this. Traders for a Cause, the big one down in Miami. Huge in-person event. Not really like retail prop stuff, more so like options and, just real prop firm stuff, but just, investing and trading in general. I want to be at that next year for sure. We're going to Tampa. We got in-person stuff coming up on podcasts. We already talked about it on that trip. I got a lot more of that stuff with those guys, but anything that comes, I'm going to, and I'm looking to go to Europe as well. A lot of it is in London and, and overseas. I'm planning to be out there, man. I would encourage you guys to do the same. There's nothing like it. No, you never learn more. And I know that's all joking around. We look like idiots, right? We are like, I'm showing everybody, we're screaming and yelling, right? And again, some of that is honestly, most of the stuff is not scripted. You can tell the stuff is scripted where we're like having fun and, doing a plan or, what do you think about this? Like, should I full port it? Because everyone's just obnoxious when they get together. But outside of that, we're sitting down, we're talking, we're trading together, we're meetings, man. I learned so much. You take so much for everybody else, man. You don't have to change your strategy. You don't have to change your approach. But maybe it's one thing you hear from somebody else that's been doing it longer than you, or that's from another country that's done things differently, that's experienced something else, that has a different way of viewing something, that perspective that you can only have if you happen upon it yourself, which hopefully you do through experience. But it's invaluable. I don't know if that's the right word for it. I think it's invaluable is the right word for it. Priceless, maybe. And anytime I get out in front of people, right? And on Zoom calls is great also. But man, I get so much of that from everybody that was down there. It's awesome, man. And I take so much, and I feel like that's how I'm able to advance so much. And I do that with everything, right? In sports, like if you're gonna go be a runner, go find the local run club. Go to the track. Go to the run with guys that are way faster than you and hear what's going on. What shoes are they using? What's the nutrition like? What are they doing that you might be, a great marathon runner, Boston qualifier, right? But, that's how you get better. That's how you excel. You get around those people that are doing better than you, maybe, if you can, and that rising tide lifts all the ships. And dear Lord, get away from people that are looking to drag you down. Get away from that toxic energy. So anyway, that's some of the clips, man. Vlog, I know it's vlog, but Vlog coming out probably not until, I'm going to say late next week, maybe the week after. I got way too much to go through. I have so many videos. Plus I was recording so much of it in like 4K. I don't even know how I'm going to get it all to my editor, but that's my one job after this live session. I'm going to take a nap because I'm burnt. And I'm going to try to figure out how to get all those videos over to my editor so he can start going through and take a look at it. Bro, I tried to put my boys onto trading. They think it's all a scam. I live in BVI, British Virgin Islands. Oh, damn, bro. That's dope. I've never been over there. I've been a lot of places in the Caribbean. Purple Ninja, that's sick to hear, man. I forgot you were from down there. Vlog is going to be spicy. Yeah, the vlog is going to be fun, bro. The vlog is going to be fun. I like watching vlogs. Let me bounce around here. I like watching vlogs because, like, I like this, and I primarily am going to watch, trading, like the chart nerd stuff. And if you know me, most of my stuff is not joking around and just like what I'm showing you guys. It's like, it's this, right? Where we sit here and I'm no trade on the day. As we break IB high and I'm watching this thing push higher. I don't have a trade on this at all, guys. Just a V down and a V back up. Or a line down, line up to make a V. But I like to get to know people. I like to know what they're like. I like to watch the funny shit that goes on behind the scenes. Excuse my language. Sorry, YouTube, don't ban me. You get to know who the person is, and especially if it's a bunch of traders like that, right? Like, we're with a gang of traders and then an entire prop firm, which is really, really fun. So, anyway, if you guys like it, that's cool. If not, I do whatever you want to do. But I'm gonna do more of those. I'm doing more in-person stuff. We also had a whole videographer team. There were 2 people following us around the entire time. So we're gonna have a whole bunch of like that back end stuff, but. The vlog is like, obviously like everything, right? It's all the ridiculous stuff going on in between, the random little funny stuff, and then, yapping about what's going on, but vlogging it. But yeah, Purple Ninja, man. Yeah, you can't put everybody else onto it. That's my opinion. I didn't try to put, I have never tried to put anybody onto trading. I really haven't. In fact, I tell people don't do it. Anybody that I know ever, I'm like, probably not, unless someone's locked into it, but I haven't really found that person yet. But yeah, bro, you don't want to like try to put everybody onto it. Again, all of those guys, I did like, we didn't put each other onto trading, right? We came to trading where we were all exceptionally locked in, and then you're able to get around those types of people. So that's what I would encourage you to do if you can. Find that support group of people that are doing it, right? Like, same thing if you were going to be a runner and you want to get around runners, rather than trying to make, all your friends and family runners and go on hikes with you, just go to the run club, find the people, find your people there. That's a great plan. Can't stop making money. Low goals. Yeah, you guys like that stuff? W's for you. Yeah. I requested 2 payouts from the live account on that trip. Yeah, it's great. Great. Not nearly what some of those other boys were putting up. Whew. Hitters on that trip, man. Hitters on that trip. V like me spice. I just want to say I found you randomly this weekend scrolling YouTube, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Live morning trading. Just a positive dude in community. Jacob, bro, welcome it. We got another OG, Jacob, bro. Welcome to the show, man. I'm happy to have you here. And anybody else that's here for the first time, or you've been here for a while, I appreciate you guys as well, man. Again, I don't think I'm going to be for everybody. I am who I am. My trading skills are my trading skills. The way I run my show is it. And if it resonates with you and you enjoy it, I am so happy that you found me and that I can cultivate that type of community. Hop in the Discord if you're not already. Jacob and anybody else. That's like the main hub for all of my stuff. And then follow across socials, right? Like, all of those videos are on IG, by the way, guys. If you want to, like, almost everything that I just showed up there. That's all on IG. And then a ton of videos here on YouTube. And then X kind of gets the least. Sorry, X. I know you guys, I'm streaming to X right now. X, I don't know. It's like a hellhole of just negativity. And I don't know. I can take my time to post on there, but I just seem to be repeating some of the other stuff. And, X is cool. You can follow on X also. Maybe we do giveaways every once in a while on X. But yeah, man, I appreciate you being here. Thanks, man. If the 4K videos are too big to transfer online, maybe a micro SD card mailed. Yeah. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Yeah. I got some kind of upload thing with him. We'll be able to figure it out. But yeah, dude, halfway through the trip, I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm making like 10-minute. I mean, they're going to be hopefully high quality, but I was making like 10 and 15-minute long, like long-winded yapping videos in 4K. And, yeah, a lot of data, a lot of storage. I use X for news. Yeah, X is a great news source. For sure. That's a great plan. Yeah, X is like, what I noticed is X is like this microcosm, which is not my term, of what feels like everybody's opinion on like prop firms and the trading space, because you get a lot of the bigger guys talking in there. But what I noticed is like X doesn't speak for the trading space like at all, right? Because I'm grateful enough to see the numbers on a lot of different things. by way of both like the numbers on X and then the numbers on usage and, you know, click-throughs and then actually, you know, money spent different places. And X, like the feel that you get from X is like not what's really happening across like the actual space, right? I think YouTube and IG provide a much better like reality of kind of where the situation's at. And X is more of like extremely negative drama driven through engagement, because unfortunately that's not X's algorithm. That's what people want to see because that's what people click on and that's what gets, you know, the movement up. And then it's TMZ of like, you know, trading and retail prop firms and like streamers or whatever. But it's not like the feel that you get like when something's like super negative or like weird on X. I'm like, well, that doesn't really make sense because like that's blowing up over here and everywhere else, and then the numbers support it and the engagement supports it. So, you know, what's really going on? But yeah, X is good for like financial news, you know, just individual financial news, if that's what you were saying. Like I know a lot of traders, believe it or not, you know, they'll use Financial Juice or something. They'll have a paid fee. Maybe they have Squawk. But they'll also follow, like some of them have separate X accounts. And I've actually kind of like set this up a little bit myself with mine. And they'll run that. They'll run the live feed and they're reading it as it comes in. Because, you know, you can follow stuff like, you can have Financial Juice on there, Bloomberg, and, you know, I can't list them all, but there's a handful of X real-time news alerts, like Squawk for X, right? So as like, you know, something terrible happens, right? Bomb is hitting an airport, you know, whatever, or Donald Trump comments on Truth Social, XYZ, it's like, it's organized. So, you know, if that helps you and you're going to use that, you know, it's cool. But otherwise, X is hella negative. Not all of it, but I don't have as much fun on there as I do on YouTube or IG. I also like to use my face. X is a lot of anonymous accounts, which I don't like either. It's a lot of anons, a lot of NPCs LARPing, which I'm not a big fan of. A lot of those guys got exposed. That was hilarious. When X, not to talk about random drama, but man, like plot twist, nobody's who they say they are when they had that like location docs event on X and like, you know, crazy. Anyway, we're really off topic here. We're talking socials. Yeah, guys, I don't really have anything on this. It's 11:30. I'm hanging. We watched some videos from Colombia, from the trip from Cartagena. We talked a lot. You know, if you guys have questions, feel free to let me know. Yeah, I agree with you. In my opinion, X is better than Financial Juice. Yeah. I just unfollow people who like that. Yeah, I know. I mute people. Like, I try not to do that, and I had to clean it up at a certain point because I must have just clicked on, like, way too many, like, negative things, and, like, I all of a sudden, like, you know, and again, the algo is like a reflection of what you click on, but like I was getting fed, especially when a lot of that bad stuff was going on, I was getting fed like a lot of violent videos, and I was like, yo, I had to like try to unfollow, mute, like not interested, like all that type of stuff. Like I don't want to watch people get shot. I don't know. Maybe I'm soft. I don't want to watch murder videos every day, guys. Like that's not, you know, not what I'm into. Yeah. Who do you follow on Algo is crazy? Yeah. X is wild, bro. X is out there. And I like free speech. I'm not for censorship, but you know, I'd like to be able to curse a little bit more than I do on some of these platforms. But man, it's wild. Don't let your kids on X. Who do you follow on X, Mystic Rick, that is real-time updates? Who is your favorite? Like, give me maybe your one or two favorite people. Financial Juice is cool. Is it like there's different Squawk that I remember that was pretty cool, that was really real time and updates, but with everything going on, so I've said this before, I'm not a fundamental trader, but when stuff is breaking so fast, number one, I wonder if I could start to understand it, and then also I'd like to be able to talk about it with you guys. So, you know, I was thinking I'm just going to pay for Financial Juice and get real-time alerts and then run that news feed and then maybe like Squawk from them. But most people just say, just use Twitter. Just use Twitter and follow like these 5 accounts and then, you know, you're good. But I'm interested to hear. As we break IB high, pushed in the upside. Again, guys, I know I've yapped through this, but there's no setup for me today. This was no setup. Shorts were what I was looking at. I said shorts gun to my head multiple times. Would have got cooked. Would have got cooked down here. Would have got cooked in here. Would have got cooked with my stop loss out here. Really curious to see if we pop all the way up to this area.
Unlikely that we come all the way back down based on statistics and break IB low. Very strong stat against us coming all the way back down to break this New York low now that we broke outside of this 10:30 a.m. high. Coming up on 11:30, we are putting high of day in. We have flipped this entire daily candle bullish. That's interesting. Very interesting. So again, I'm no trade. Honestly, I said a couple times it'd be expected if I didn't. I would be a little bit surprised if I didn't get something, but yeah, I don't know. I'm chilling. No setup. Nothing really close to a setup. I think maybe you got some guys that got this pullback to VWAP play. Like I don't think Tanner's trading today, but this is a big one for him, right? That let's see if NQ pulled it for him. Yeah, he might have got in on something like this, right? Just spending time with these guys, they all trade differently, right? But he might have ran something to the upside like this. Maybe like a long, like coming back across VWAP, even in here. Maybe he would have tried it there. Maybe would have tried it in here. Pull back to VWAP play, right? Pushing to the upside through Asia, London, back down, and then a bounce to the upside. But I'm sitting, man. If we find something into the afternoon, I'll snag something. But I might not push it today. I might try to get some of the content from the week together and take a nap. Just go on a walk outside or something. Back to working out. Chat. Ago's crazy. Yeah, the Ago suck in all those plays. Yeah. The amount of people I've seen die every day. Yeah. Yeah, guys, again, so not to get too far off of trading, but maybe I'll be able to tie this back and say that mindset relates to trading. But I don't think I've watched somebody else say this, right? If you asked maybe your parents, right, or people in your family that are older than you, unless they went to war, which I'm sure many of them did, if you asked them if you've seen anybody become unalived in a video, they would probably look at you sideways and say, why would you ask me something like that? Of course not, right? And if you asked somebody that's, maybe my age or younger, or somebody younger than you, the answer to that question is often, yeah, all the time. A couple times a month, maybe at least a dozen different videos, where you clicked on something and then that's what you're shown. So, and please don't say too much like die or any of these things in chat, like different words, because I think the algorithm throttles it and keep it open. But I don't think we're supposed to see that. Okay. I'm grateful that we have our armed forces and that I know that there are rough men and women that there's a saying that goes, people sleep soundly in their night only because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf. It's something along those lines. I don't know the quote, but that one resonates with me heavy. And I'm grateful that we have those people, right? I really am. But I don't think that we all are supposed to be the people standing ready to do violence on nobody else's behalf, right? And I don't think we all are supposed to see that, especially not children, right? Like that are way younger, and it's shown a lot, and I'm not a fan of that. And I don't know what that does to our human psychology. I don't know what that conditions us to do and see and think, but I don't like that at all. I'm not a fan of that. So I would encourage you to not censor everything to become a baby. You got to know what's going on. You got to see the reality of the world. You really do. Don't not watch the news, right? But there's a level of your X algorithm turning into just people unaliving the entire thing in real time, uncensored. And I don't think that's, first off, I don't think it's a good reflection of what the world is really like as a whole. But also, I don't think that's good for you, right? And if you're part of armed forces and that's your job and what you've done and what you have to do, I thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Anyway, we got way off trading on this. Chat. Walter Bloomberg, live squawk. Okay, guys, we're talking about good people to follow on X if you want to turn your X into a live squawk feed. Walter Bloomberg, live squawk, first squawk, the Kolbasi letter, financial juice. Mystic Rick, you're an OG. Thank you, bro. I'm going to screenshot that so I can share it. Awesome, bro. Thank you.
World Source News, Jim. Oh, cool, man. Oh, you got even more. Oh, thanks, bro. Awesome. Zach, am I OG now? Yeah, you're an OG, Time Pass. Yeah, you're an OG. You guys are all OGs. Yes, Time Pass. I've seen you enough times for sure. Thank you. All good to follow. I do a lot of reposts on things that have helped me become a better trader. Sherlock's awesome. Duck race ? Yeah, I'm thinking about what we're gonna do, guys. I'm thinking about what we're gonna do. I'm not done yet, but I'm thinking. If you're only here for a giveaway, I appreciate you. You can certainly hang out every day. Giveaways are random days, random times. So I don't want you to waste your time. There might not be a giveaway any of the days, and if you're only here for a giveaway, you'll end up wasting your time. So you don't have to be here only for the giveaway. Not saying there's not a giveaway, but if you're only here for the giveaway, you know, I don't know. Gonna have to hang and find out. But we already talked about another giveaway earlier because we run multiple giveaways. We did 10 giveaways on Friday. Gave away 10 accounts on Friday. Clay, top 1, gave away 10 accounts. Super fun. Break and retest of IB, man. What are we doing here, chat? What is this? What is this? IB high, IB low for NQ, crack to the upside, just pushing higher. Beautiful test of VWAP off the open on ES, and then a really nice bounce to the upside. ASFX boys, if they're trading, they probably cleaned up. I don't know. They might have been looking short on this, though. But long above VWAP would have paid them. Yeah, long in here would have paid. Very nice. Very nice. You see, you could tell I was with everybody over the weekend because I got everybody's strategies down. Coming back into initial balance here. Breakout, retest. Let's see. What is IB? Hansel, IB is the initial balance. At the initial balance, the IB is the first 1 hour opening range of NYSE session. It is the high and the low that gets put in between 9:30 a.m. Eastern and 10:30 a.m. Eastern. So go ahead and mark out that high right there. Go ahead and mark out that low right there. There are quite a bit of statistics around this IB high and low. You can use things like, since we're talking about it, you can use things like Edgeful. Let's pull it up. Come on, Edgeful. You could use things like Edgeful, and you might say, hey, Zach, what are the statistics behind it that you are talking about it? Why are you marking it on your chart? Let's talk about it. Let's not talk about it. Let's be about it, okay? Let's go to the tape. All right, chat? Let's go to it. Let's get real here, okay? YM. Initial balance. This platform is called Edgeful. If you want to check out Edgeful, I will throw the link in the chat. I am partnered and affiliated with Edgeful. I can't be unbiased if I stand to make money, which I do. Here's the link to check it out. There is no code for Edgeful. That link will provide a discount off of one of their plans because Edgeful is paid. But I'm also allowed to show it to you here live. So this is a paid piece of information that you're getting, and I can pull up a whole bunch of different stuff, and then maybe that helps you out. Here's YM. So we say, okay, we have a range, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Gets put in the high and the low, right? And I know a lot of people know this, and I talk about it a lot. A lot of people don't. That's why they're asking what it is. What percent of the time, if we break out of the high, do we come back down and break the low? What percent of the time, if we break out to the high, do we not come back down to break the low, right? What happens, which side gets put in first, and then which side is more likely to break first? How far do we typically go based on historical information, based on the last 6 months of data? Let's say you say, Zach, that's not really that great. We want to look at a year. Guess what? Awesome. Edgeful, okay? Edgeful, over the last 1 year of data on YM, the instrument that we're trading, is telling us that the initial balance
is broken one side 75% of the time. Price has broken one side and not come back down to break the other side 3/4 of the days, okay? Just under 20% of the time, it has broken both sides, and a little over 5% of the time, it has not broken either side. It has stayed within that opening range, right? Can you use this and other reports to your advantage? I think so. I think knowing that since we've broken this high here now, and it's 11:37 a.m., over the last year of data, we have not come back down to break this side, right? Do I think that this trade is a great one to take every single day as soon as we break the IB high? No, I don't think so, okay? You're trading for something that happens less than 20% of the time, okay? So, there are statistics that you can utilize within the markets. Is this enough to trade profitably? Does this give you a 75% edge or a 75% win rate? No to all of those, okay? Is it helpful? Maybe. Ton of these reports, if you guys want to check this stuff out. Usually if I'm talking about something, I try to figure out if there is, an edge for report on it. It just saves me a lot of time in back testing. I can figure things like this out. It's for a whole bunch of different markets. Obviously, you can see they have future stocks, Forex, crypto, pretty much everything under the sun. They have a ton of different reports on here. If you want to check it out, link is in the chat. Shout out Edgeful for the data. Appreciate those guys. Yes, initial balance. Dumond, can I ask you, do you use the anchored volume profile or is that visible? No, this is session volume profile, HD, I think, or session volume profile. If you are on Project X or another platform and you can't use SVP session volume profile, you can use the fixed range volume profile, since we're going to just talk technicals, which I'm happy to do while I'm hanging out with you guys. You can use this bad boy right here. You click on that and then you would draw. You can see this is going to be the exact same or almost the exact same. Fixed range volume profile, right? So you could use the same thing. Session volume profile is going from session changeover all the way through the trading day. Over here is visible range volume profile, VRVP, and that's what's over on this side. Settings are pretty standard. The only thing that makes it look, like really granular like that is this bad boy right here. Row size being increased. Hope that helps. Good questions. Are we going back to 25,000? Maybe. Is the juice? The juice is way better than the ducks. Yeah, man. Listen, bro. The ducks ain't gonna get you paid. Well, they might. You might get the accountant and work yourself towards a payout, but no, it's all good. All good. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, man. Yep, thank you guys. Yeah. Zach, you show your candlestick color. Yeah. If you guys want chart settings, just let me know. I don't like to bore everybody and go through the same thing over and over and over again. If you want chart settings, just let me know. Go ahead. I changed the chart colors. 90% of this is the exact same, but let's go through it start to finish. If I miss anything that you want, please let me know. You can stop this and screenshot it if you want. So let's go for canvas first. We are solid white. This is the background of the chart, right? Solid white, brightest color. No grid lines. Crosshairs are black, all black. This was the new little setup to just kind of freshen things up. No watermarks, nothing else crazy. Text is all black, right? Obviously, if you make everything white, you have to change everything else to black, all the text, all the lines, all that type of stuff. Here's settings. I think I have these pulled over a little bit, so when you hit reset chart, your chart doesn't your candlesticks aren't all the way over here like crazy. And then let's go to symbol. Candlestick colors, we have for the green candles, what would be the green candles, the bullish candles, the candles where price is moving to the upside, white. And the borders on everything are black. The wicks on everything are black on both, right? And then we have the body of this is this gray one here in the middle, 5 over from the left, okay? You can run the exact same stuff. I also turn off they have TradingView now has a session thing, automatically. I turn that off. That's the full chart setup. If you guys want colors on more of it, I can show you, but it's essentially just that. It's just, gray and white. Gray and black, it's kind of like the opposite of what I had, which was just black background with white and gray, which I've ran for damn near forever once I started with that. We'll see. I just felt like doing something a little bit freshening up.
I was also going to be trading off my phone, and in a lot of light, I noticed that staring at my iPhone with the all black, everything is just a little bit dark. So I don't know. It's just preference. We'll see. I'll probably go back. I created a new light, a new trading view like setup for it. So hopefully that answers. Oh yeah, chart settings. Okay, yeah, guys. So you want the rest of the stuff. So that's chart colors, right? That's like candlestick and canvas colors. Let's just finish it off real quick, and then I can send anybody this video so you guys have everything. Indicators on the chart. Indicators on the chart. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are all volume indicators. These are more just different displays of volume than they are indicators, in my humble biased opinion. I'd say VWAP is being an average price is the most indicatory out of all of them, okay? Over here we have VRVP, visible range volume profile, okay? Setting right here, row size is increased to 200. I have it decreased on the width, I believe. I think it defaults to 30. It brings it over a little bit to the right-hand side. Colors, I'll do it somewhat fast, but this way you can like go back and screenshot it if you want. And then down here, we just have point of control. None of the other BS, right? So you get value area high, value area low, volume point of control, and a nice visible range volume profile. This is a horizontal display of volume by way of visible range of price action. You can see it's very dynamic. It moves around, okay? Session volume profile. Same thing, just for the session. We already talked about this one. Nothing changed right there. Inputs are at 200. Same thing. This is essentially just the exact same thing, okay? Not going to go through all of it. I think it's probably very, very close. Maybe, yeah, I can see it's off a little bit. There you go. This way you guys get all the sauce, okay? You can run the exact same chart as me if you want, which I don't know why you would do that. Just pick whatever you like, right? Volume down here on the bottom. Traditional volume, growing and falling, marked the same, very light. I don't like this to be intrusive. I don't want anything to come really before price. Now, a lot of people say this is busy. This to me is very calm and easy on the eyes. Like I like this. It's very non-threatening. It's a safe space. No, I'm just kidding. And then VWAP in the middle. Just VWAP, standard settings, no change. Volume, weighted average price. I didn't touch any of this stuff. I take off the lower and upper bands and the fill, right? Just VWAP itself. Standard resetting at session changeover. That's the whole chart. We have rectangles that are drawing tools, okay? From here. The fun setting where you can make this extend to the right, because if you don't have this on, it just draws an individual box, is this one in here. Nope. There we go. Extend right. Let's see. There's the setting on it if you guys want the exact stuff, okay? And then these are lines. Just literally like a black horizontal line. That's it. Questions, concerns. We love it. We hate it. We like the new white background. We like the black background. We talked about some chart colors in Discord because I was interested in everybody's chart colors. But it's cool. You can set up whatever you want. But this is like the preference stuff. I don't think this has an enormous amount of weight on whether or not you're going to make money in the market. Pick something you like. Pick something that's calming for you, maybe. Not, super emotion provoking, and then stick with it. Or at least in general, stick with it for a long period of time, right? I don't think like changing everything completely on your layout is helpful, right? You're going to train your eyes on something. That's your cockpit. That's what you want to see. Keep that similar, right? I used to race motocross, and I was really like finicky about everything, right? So like, when I would change like goggle lenses, right? I was like getting comfortable with using like tinted goggle lenses. Like I did that in practice. I didn't go to race day and throw in low light, yellow lenses, because I don't know really how that would affect me. Probably not that much, but maybe you're cautious if you change your charts up, right? But remember, guys, your chart setup is individual to you. This isn't going to help you. This is, what I do is, for me, right? Remember that. I think you could take some sauce, you could find some stuff you like from other people, but make it your own. Figure out what colors you want, figure out what tools you want to use, make it your own.
You got to have faith in it. You got to believe in it yourself. And if it's not yours, you're going to struggle to do that. Make it your own. Is there a difference between anchored VWAP and VWAP? Yes. There's a difference between anchored VWAP and VWAP. This is anchored VWAP. Anchored VWAP is a drawing tool where you anchor it to a specific point. Like at 9:30 a.m., for example, you could anchor VWAP. If you anchored VWAP to standard VWAP, it would just be the drawing tool of the... It would just be exactly where VWAP is. So VWAP and anchored VWAP are calculated the same. Anchored VWAP is anchored to a specific spot on your chart that may or may not be session changeover, right? The open of the new day, the way that standard VWAP is anchored to. Yes, thank you. Please go through your chart. When was the last time you blew an account out of rage? Out of rage? I don't know. I can't remember. When was the last time I blew an account? Last week. I blew fundeds and evals having fun making dumbass videos in the airport. If you missed that, they're on YouTube. I mean, they're on IG. When was the last time I blew an account out of distraction and out of being emotionally unaware and unable to regulate? Last year, and I made a video about it. I consider myself pretty emotionally aware. Not that I've beaten everything. I will have issues, right? I will have times where I'm way out of pocket, like the one I'm about to describe. But it wasn't out of rage. I had gone to my second funeral in like 3 days, right? Not that they were, my family members, but one. Without going into detail, I went to 2 funerals, right? And the second one was pretty heavy, and I knew the person, right? And I had come home, and I hadn't traded in the morning, and I had funded accounts to trade, and the market was moving, and I hopped right on the charts and blew both of them, like immediately. And I hadn't done that in a long period of time, right? Really a long period of time. And it was incredibly obvious what I was doing, right? What I did. And it was incredibly obvious where that came from, right? But it was again a lesson that I had to learn. And there'll be more lessons. I'm not done with all the lessons. I'm gonna have to make those mistakes. But it was a lesson that I had to learn that, if you have something in your outside life that's affecting you, right? Or that has a really good chance of affecting you, like going to a funeral, right? You should probably limit yourself. You might want to consider not hopping on the charts, right? You're probably not going to be able to execute effectively if you hadn't just gone to 2 funerals, right? That's an extreme case and maybe a good example. But that's something that would that stands out at me to answer that question. But everybody suffers from different stuff. Everybody's going to have something that's really going to affect them. But and it's not always going to be your outside life. So, but hopefully that helps answer. Personally, I like something more easy on the eyes, lower contrast, but colors different enough for me to tell the bear and bull candles. Yeah, I am in favor, Cyrus, believe it or not, of something that makes them almost look the same. And you can see when you scroll out enough on this setup, which a lot of people won't like. Just so you know, if you're gonna run something similar, they all turn the same color. I like that. I am somebody, and I think at a certain point, once you scroll out, they kind of all turn the same color on all chart colors, so just grain of salt that. But it's not easy to see white candles in here, right? Kind of just like a black line. I like that because I find myself as somebody who likes market structure, as in highs and lows, areas of interest, over individual price action, types of candlestick formations that are forming. And that, to me, I will forgo the big contrast in bullish and bearish candles in favor of something that's very easy on the eyes and maybe blends them more together. Some people might trade off of a line chart, right? Or Heikin-Ashi candles, which is completely different calculations. But you might trade off a DOM, right? But that's just something that's a preference. But find whatever your preference is. Anyway, guys, been hanging out. It's almost 12 o'clock. Here's the deal. I do not have forms set up. I don't have the duck race set up. I don't have anything else set up. And I'm not going to hang out here and waste your guys' time or my time while I try to do all of that, even though I'd probably be sure that you guys would want me to do that. I will say we'll make up for it. I've yet to come across a time where I've done less giveaways than I said I was going to do. I've only ever done more. So, if you hop on the streams almost every day, but as you can see today, not every single day, there will be a specific duck race giveaway that launches on the stream. There is a giveaway valid right now. If you didn't hop onto it, hang on. Let me give you the sauce. Let me give you the sauce so you don't say, oh no, I didn't do a giveaway. Hang on. Hang on. Go ahead and comment on this video. You still have a chance. And I will pick somebody. Maybe later today if I remember, but no guarantees. I'm tired, guys. Everybody that comments on that video has a chance to win a funded account. I'm going to pick somebody. I'll pick somebody whenever I remember. So, there's still a giveaway today, guys. Plot twist. But later on this week, man, we'll be running giveaways. We run them almost every day on the streams, but random days, random times. But I don't have it in me to start doing it, man. Appreciate you guys being here. We're streaming live almost every damn day. This week, we're every day. 9:15. I already showed up today, so if you're new here, thanks for being here. If you found this this stream today, you want to come and hang out, links at the top of the chat. If you want to hop in the 100% free trading Discord. If you are new, I'm going to throw this up here if I can find it. I'm here live on YouTube, Kick, and X, 9:15 a.m. daily, 100% free. I would be more than happy to have you here. Real Deal Zach across all socials, except here on YouTube. Technically, it's Real Deal Futures, but it all pops up if you type in Real Deal Zach. That's the logo. That's my ugly mug. Here's the braids, just in case they come out today because these things hurt. One more time, YouTube. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Quick disclaimer, guys. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is suggestion or recommendation. Do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. My stuff is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just an idiot yapping on YouTube and kicking X and wherever we are. And if you copy me or anybody else, you're only ever going to lose money. I don't know why you would do that. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, Edgeful, and others. I stand to make money. I can't be unbiased. Do your own research. Important for me to be transparent about that and for you to make these decisions for yourself. Head to sites, confirm things, and make the best decision for you guys. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you being here. Have a great rest of the day. Not too crazy of a market today. No trade for me. Have an awesome Monday. We'll see. We got some news coming up. We'll see what the rest of the week's got for us, man. I'll be here with you guys 9:15. Talk to you guys in Discord. See ya on IG. See ya on YouTube. See ya on Kick. See ya on X. Have a great rest of the day.